All right, buddy, you're back.
I'm back.
How you been? I think it's been a couple weeks since we. So what? At least a week, right? 2 weeks.
Yeah, about a week and a half, too, yeah.
Yeah. For episode 3 of the Mudroom
I love
with the one and only Hunter Covington. I think at this point you're just going to be the guest.
Okay.
I don't know, or the co-host.
I'm fine with that. Oh, buddy.
Ooh, that probably sounded pretty good on the
I don't know.
mic.
You might want to trim that out later.
No, I can't. I don't know how to trim it out. Well, I'm over the age of 21, so if y'all did think that was a beer, well, I can legally drink a beer. But it's actually a sparkling ice water thing with caffeine.
And I'm just over here drinking an actual beer.
Smell that. That reminds me of a very specific smell.
Oh,
For
man.
for the ones listening, the flavor is blue raspberry. Now, oh, the taste is even so. Okay, so I'll get into it real quick. There was a pre-workout when I first started getting into weight training and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called? Oh man, it's not like it was off the market pretty quick because it was like around the time that that C4 came out, but they had that stuff in the C4 that was like hurting people,
Right?
Like making people's hearts pop, basically.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called? I don't know. The flavor I had was blue raz, and I just remember every time you mix it up in a shaker bottle, like the lid would basically explode off the top.
It wasn't, it's not Sneak, right?
No.
That stuff's still around.
This is like 2006, 2007 era.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that would have been way before any of those were out on the market.
Yeah. Dude, you were just heavy breathing down there. You go drink some water, Camo. Anyways, yeah, I can't remember that, dude. I haven't smelled that or tasted that in forever, and I've never had that flavor before.
But that's it, huh?
That's it, to a T.
Nice.
As soon as I cracked that open, I could smell it. And I was like, oh, memories.
It made me think of blue raspberry Jolly Ranchers.
Or that too, yeah. That's pretty good. I'm gonna spill that all over the electronics. I'll leave that guy right there.
Yeah, it's not like we got the video going right now, so
Yeah.
that's not going to be in the shot.
So how you been, man? What's
Pretty
new?
good. Not a lot.
Yeah.
No, not a whole lot.
Anything work been crazy with bow season? Like now, I guess it's here now.
Yeah, it's on.
It's on.
No, I mean, no crazier than normal.
Really?
So I had Friday and Saturday off to go down there to the lake and help out with Bike Fest, which we'll get into that.
Let's talk about that now, actually. We can
Okay.
put hunting on hold for a second. Because
Okay.
you're showing me some sweet bikes before we hopped on here. And so, where is it at?
So it's called the Great American Campground and Dive Bar.
Okay.
It's directly north of Lori on Highway,
You're thinking.
I want to say 135, right before it Y's off, and you can either go north or south into either Lori or Gravois Mills.
Okay.
So it's like right there in between the two, and it was really like the only big like event, not really event space, but like the biggest parking lot, the most activities going on throughout the day. Like there was a mechanical bull company that came down and set one up out in the parking lot.
That's sweet.
They were doing biker games like the Wiener Bite, wet t-shirt contests, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's a staple. I've never been to like a biker rally or anything, but
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's a staple. I used to
yeah.
watch, what was that show that had on TV? It was Jesse James Dupree and then the radio host from 98.9 The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
They co-hosted it or whatever.
Yeah, and I can...
Remember what I'm talking about, though?
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe it was at Sturgis. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah. It was at wet t-shirt contest.
Oh, yeah. But,
So that's cool. Was it a pretty big crowd?
oh, dude, I would bet there was easily, over the course of the weekend, there was over 2,000 different bikes that rolled through.
Nice.
I mean, at one point, I think we were holding at probably 250
Wow.
just in the parking lot.
Wow. That's pretty epic. So how close is that to the lake?
So it's not accessible by water.
Okay.
So it is landlocked. That's the only downside to it.
Well,
But you know, it's
could or
not,
could not be, I guess.
yeah, depending on what you want to do. Like,
Yeah.
you know, but if you wanted to get on the water, I'm trying to think of where the nearest place to go would be. Big Dick's halfway in is like 15 minutes down the road.
Nice.
Like I said, the town of Lori's right there, so You could be in Sunrise Beach, Camdenton, in half hour, 45 minutes with real heavy traffic.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But,
So,
but no, it was really cool.
how big's the campground?
So there's 18 pull-through camper spots
Nice.
with full water and electric at each one of those. I want to say 20 back-end spots, same hookups. There's plans to put in 7 or 8 cabin / treehouse type setups, like what you see people staying in like Eureka Springs.
Oh, sick. That's cool.
They've already got one of the cabins mostly done, not available yet to rent. That's going to be spring of next year, 2024.
Nice.
They're going to have a couple primitive camping spots as well as like tent and whatnot.
Nice.
There's a bar.
Do they need a chef? I'll go be a chef at the dive bar if they want to do bar food.
So he actually brought in a guy that used to work at one of the big restaurants down there.
Oh, nice.
In the town of Lori. And Ryan's whole deal is Cajun food, is what he really is passionate about. And
Which is delicious.
Oh, 100%. I had the jambalaya the other night.
How was that?
Phenomenal.
Yeah?
Oh, my God.
That's
Can't wait to go back and get more. It was
I was on the phone with a buddy. Well, you know him. Colby. At least you were in our text group about teal hunting.
Oh, yeah.
I was on the phone with him yesterday. He was inviting me to that teal hunt.
Where he sniped that teal this morning?
Yeah. And he was talking about a duck gumbo recipe he has, which I need to try to get off him. Anyways.
I bet that would be good.
I had it when I was younger, and I remember it being delicious, but I have never had it since.
I've had all sorts of gumbo, but never with duck.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. But yeah, so anywho, plenty of camping slots, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Plans to put in some actual like cabin style spots. And it sounds like they got a pretty sweet chef.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be, how big's the bar?
So there's an indoor and an outdoor bar. So the outdoor bar is called the Silo Bar. There's a patio with a bunch of like the Adirondack chairs, a couple tables thrown around.
Nice.
Big custom fire pit that was made from an old propane tank that Jill actually had made, and it's got like a picture of like this biker couple like kissing under the stars out past where the city limit sign is.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
So is it tailored towards like a biker
biker theme? Mm-hmm. 100%.
That's neat.
You know, not that non-bikers can't go and enjoy it too, but yeah, it's definitely like the seats, like the bar stools and the chairs, all have stitching on them, like what you would see on Harley Davidson bike seats.
That's cool. That's cool. Was that like, so this is your father-in-law that bought this?
Uh-huh.
So did he go in with the, like, was that theme already established when he bought it, or is like that his theme that he created?
He built the whole thing from the ground up.
Oh, jeez.
When he bought the property, there was like a metal shop, like almost like a little fab shop.
Okay.
For like custom metal work for not bike related stuff at all.
Yeah.
That was the only real thing on the property. The rest of it was just undeveloped, just, you know.
That's awesome.
Like hillside and a big parking lot for the shop.
So is like the plan, or is the plan to move down there, or have they already moved down there?
If I had to guess, I would be willing to bet that sometime within the next several years, they're going to move down there, because he's down there 4 days, 5 days out of the week, most weeks anyhow.
I could imagine.
John's mom is there 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Whenever she's not working, I think she's at the very least 3 days a week down there.
Yeah. Well, I'd imagine, especially if it's something that they've like built from ground up, like I wouldn't want to be far away from it.
Right. Not that they don't have an awesome manager for everything. You know, they've already got a manager for the campground and bar that lives on site.
That's oh my god, that'd be such a sweet gig.
It is. So that shop that was in the back that I was telling you about was there. There was a little like apartment type situation attached to the shop for the guy that lived there and owned it previously.
Nice.
So when they bought it, they spruced it up, and
that's cool.
They hired her in, and that's where she stays.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like me when I got divorced. I went and lived in a little apartment made out of a barn or whatever. Yeah.
Now I'm sad.
Why?
Thinking about you living in a barn.
What? It's like a little barn dominium. It's my own little home away. You've been up there before, hadn't you?
Where at?
Up in Agency?
No.
You never went up there? I thought maybe I'd ask you to go up there and take care of Camo one time.
You probably asked me once, but I think I had other stuff.
So this guy, I found it I was looking for a place, and I found him online or on Facebook. He had posted it, and I immediately messaged him, and he got back to me like quick. And so hey, I have one person coming to look at it. If they don't like it, you're next. How quickly can you be here? I was like, I can be there 10 minutes ago.
Nice.
So right, and so the guy ends up not wanting it. I go up there, meet the guy. First name's Brian, awesome dude, hardworking guy. He worked for like an energy company, and um, he had one of the most beautiful homes on the land. It was probably like 5 acres or so.
Okay.
When you pull up the gravel drive, there's a really awesome like Morton building. And so, but the house itself, like honestly, and he had built majority of it, other than the foundation work and some of the concrete stamping. He had like the Amish people do, but
Oh,
then
yeah.
everything else he built by hand. It was all paid off. And then his, not to like put all of his information out there, but like long story short, he ended up having like it was all paid off, and while it was being built, he had built a little 1 bedroom apartment in the Morton building,
Right.
and him and his wife were living there with one of the children, and then everything got built, and everything was paid off and good to go, and then she divorced him
Oh no.
and took half,
Yikes.
so he had to mortgage the house. I mean, bro, this has to be, I can't describe it, one of the most beautiful homes I've ever been in. I mean,
Right.
I know nothing about home value or anything like that, but if I had to imagine, like easily, it had to have been touching like a half a mil.
Oh,
Had to have been,
probably.
right?
The land itself was that.
Yeah,
You know.
right. And so then he had to mortgage the home, and then started renting out that space to help with everything.
Yikes, dude.
And he was a great landlord. Like I was in a really shaky time in my life at that time, and so like he worked with me a lot, and like he was just a great dude, huge bow hunter, which was cool. But I also hardly saw him because he worked, and where he worked, he was pretty high up on the I think like union side or whatever, like I guess he would like technically like blue collar, right?
Right.
But he was like a manager or whatever, crew lead, whatever his title was, and he would take all the overtime they'd offer, and he literally had a cot in a room that he would just sleep at there. Like instead of driving home, because it was probably like a 15, 20 minute, 30-minute drive for him. Maybe probably longer than that actually. But yeah, he would just sleep there,
Yikes.
sleep for a few hours, get up, and go back to work.
I mean,
But
he had to do what he had to do. You know?
that, and that's just how he said he was raised. So I did hardly see him. Yeah, it was a really cool place to live. It's kind of far away, but other than that, it was neat.
Yeah, no, I never went up there.
Yeah, it's a cool area too. There's a pond. They were like a really, like, if I remember correctly, the family that owned the property next to him like were real big farmers, and they had a giant pond surrounded by timber.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Ducks.
duck season, just ducks and geese, just setting in constantly. I was just like, oh, and he knew him. He knew him. I was like, hey, you have to ask if we can just go sit on that pond. He's like, I will, but I don't. I've kind of like hinted at it before, and they were super nice, but they turned me down. I was like, I can see why.
Right.
They probably get asked by every person around here, but yeah, never panned out to where we could actually hunt it. But it was a cool spot to live.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
yeah, but that's neat about going all the way back after my story to the campground. So built it from ground up. Is there like a floating river anywhere near or anything like that?
No, the closest big attraction is. So there's the speedway they put in down there, which is
cool.
set up like, I guess like an F1 or like a
There you go.
like a Le Mans type speedway where
Yeah.
it's back, windy, twisty, curvy stuff. So there's that about 10 minutes up the road, and then a little bit further past that, there's the Loop. Which, have you heard of the Loop yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, if you're not big into side by sides or razors, or hang out with people that are,
I mean, I have some friends that do it, but yeah, no, I've never heard of the loop.
So the Loop stands for the Lake Ozarks or Lake of the Ozarks Off-Road Park,
Oh,
and it's like one of the biggest razor side by side. Camo, what are you doing?
dude, get your life together, buddy. Chill. You're fine.
He's just happy to be here.
I guess. But sorry.
You're
So,
good.
Razor side by side, off road.
Off-road parks like in the area,
Really?
down there.
Dude, having a side by side would be sweet.
I know, but and John and I have gone back and forth on this point. You buy something like that with the knowledge that you're constantly going to be breaking and
Oh my
repairing it.
And just, beating the hell out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And for me, it would be fun to, go out and beat the shit out of it a
Yeah.
couple times a year. But I know that I'm not going to like having to pay to repair it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's my big con is I'm like, as fun as that looks.
Yeah. Like the only experience I have with off roading, other than just doing the crazy stuff at Matt's farm when we were younger,
Right.
like it'd flood out sometimes in some areas with some crazy rain. So we would take his side by sides and do that, like go through that, and like or our dirt bikes. And then there's a couple spots off Old 210 that you could sneak up onto that would take like 4-wheelers and the dirt bikes out to, like in between the highways.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. But the actual, like the only, I guess, like legit off-roading place I've been is that what's it called, like Rock KC or something like that, out in Kansas.
I don't, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It just made for like off-road vehicles. And my buddy's mom's husband, he had 2 Jeeps, like older Jeeps that he had bought for that. And so he let us drive this really badass, like 4-speed or whatever it was. And
Nice.
we were, dude, just wrecking. Like at first we were taking it pretty timid, and he was like, "What are you guys doing? Go have fun." So like we went off on our own. His mom and the guy had gone off to what's her now husband, but had gone off and like did some of the mudding holes and whatnot. Him and I were like hitting the rock structures, and we got onto one, and we couldn't, like, I don't know, we couldn't get up and over. We kept high centering on this rock, and it was
Okay.
going uphill. And one of the times we were actually rolling backwards, and he tapped the brake, and we started going backwards, like front wheels off the ground.
Oh,
And
shit.
I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was in passenger seat, just holding on for dear life, and he kicked it into neutral, and like it slammed the front back down. We rolled back down. And right about that time, his mom and her husband rolled up, and what was his name? Larry. Larry was like, "What are you boys doing?" And we thought he was mad. And we're like, we were trying to get over that rock, and we can't. And he's like, "Well, why can't you?" I'm like, I just kept getting high centered. And he's like, "Well, quit hitting it with your purse. Throw in gear and drive that thing as hard as you can." We're like, "Well, we don't want to break." He's like, "Why do you think I bought these things? Like, they get broke. I have a guy that fixes these.
Exactly.
Like, that's all his job is. It's like, I take these to him, and he repairs them." We're like, "Okay." So, gun it, boom, hit this thing, and just like most horrendous just noise getting up over that rock, but we got up over it. It wasn't like 10, 15, 20 minutes later, the whole like bottom drivetrain just snapped and dropped out of it. Yeah. It felt bad. We ended up like winching it back up to the trailer, and he was we're like, "We're so sorry." He's like, "I told you boys to do it. I told you to do it.
Right.
This is what this is for." I was like, "Man, that's awesome." So from that point on, I wanted to buy one, and then started looking at like repair costs on it and whatnot. I was like, I don't want to buy one no more.
Well, and so many people that we hang out with that know or that that have razors and stuff, like the first thing they do if they get a new one or a new to them one is they're gonna maybe take it out, run it real hard for a weekend, and then they're gonna start customizing shit.
Yeah.
Building custom roll cages.
Yeah.
Maybe painting it up, whatever. Like,
Everything costs money.
yep,
It's unreal.
it's the rule of 8.
Yep.
Everything fun in this universe costs at least $8.
That's reasonable. Yeah.
Good, because I picked it up from South Park, so
Did you?
yeah.
From what episode? Like 1993?
I don't know,
Back when $8 probably get you something.
right?
Yeah. Dude, I went to Whataburger the other night because I hadn't tried the new one here. I've had Whataburger like once or twice before. And now I will say this. She handed me the bag and I almost dropped it because I was like, "Damn it. that's heavy. Like
Right.
that was a beefy burger, and the fries were good too. And but still, it was like $15
Mm-hmm.
for a burger and some fries. I was like, goodness,
Right.
it's getting insane, man.
I mean, you could go to Five Guys and spend just as much, but know that you're getting a whole 3 pounds of fries with it.
That's true, and, dude. That's funny that you say that because sitting in line, I was like, man, $15. I could have went to Five Guys and like ate my fat ass to death with French fries because they just dump them in the bag.
Right.
I was like, huh, we'll
And
see
you
how
could
this
have had
goes.
Cajun spice too.
I know.
They do offer the Cajun spice fries.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, she handed me the bag though. Like I said, I almost dropped it. I was like, Jesus. It was good. It was a really good burger.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I needed it in my life.
What a burger.
Thanks to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Thank you, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
On the off chance he ever listens to this,
Yeah. Dude, it's going to happen.
he will.
Be positive.
Travis Kelsey's going to be like scrolling through YouTube. After
He's going to invite us onto him and his brother's
man,
podcast.
wouldn't that be the
What's
shit?
that? What's their podcast called?
The Heights? No.
No, look it up now.
I got it.
Fancy technology. No, I got it.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
I'll just go be in the corner. It's fine.
Travis Kelsey podcast. It's about to be Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift's podcast.
I know, right?
Hey, yo. What's it called? Oh, you are at New Heights.
New Heights. There we go.
What is that warning us that? What's out mean?
Storage space?
Oh, no, never mind. That's just the audio going out. I'm dumb. Learning all this new technology. I don't know why it lit up, though.
Yeah, that's weird. Now it's back off.
Yeah, it's still recording. We're still good.
Okay.
New Heights, yeah. Dude, I was fired up when I pulled that Travis Kelsey card today.
I'll bet
There's
you
some
were.
cool ones. Like, he's got some really cool ones at the shop. And still, and for all of you that, the 5 of you listening, have a new hobby of NFL sports cards, and it's great. And I feel like a child, but it's okay because it's good to feel like a child sometimes.
Exactly. We all need that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I did not realize like how much actual value like a piece of cardboard could bring. Like it's the industry is so much bigger than I realized. Just walking into the shop, I go. It's called the Warehouse. It's right up the road, so that's not good. That it's 5 minutes from my house, if that.
Right.
Right. So, but like you walk in, it's in the basement of like a business complex. The owner, awesome dude. His name's Mike. The first time I walked in there, I was looking around. I was like, "Hey, my best friend is really into this, and I've been seeing these videos on my feed like constantly, and it just looks cool. Like I used to open like the Pokemon card and Yu-Gi-Oh card packs like when I was younger. I don't know nothing about this, and he just like took the time to go through it all with me. And so I bought, like I told you earlier, my credit card's breathing heavy,
Yeah.
telling me to chill out. But it's just so much fun, and there's been a lot of cards that I've pulled, not realizing that there's several $100 cards.
Mm-hmm.
I take them into him, and he's like, "Oh Jesus," you know. But constantly trading up. He's got some really cool ones that I'd like to get on the Chiefs side because I think like everyone has their team and style of what they like to do. And I'm just kind of building the Chiefs set with them. So that Jamarl's card I got today.
Jamarls?
Yeah, you never heard him call. I used to call him that all the time when he was still playing.
I just called him
Jamal Charles. Jamarl's. Yeah,
That's fun.
that signed 16 out of 25. Man, that hyped me up.
That is pretty cool. So, like, can you take cards back to him?
Yeah, that's what I've
and
done.
he'll pay you out for the value of the card at the time, or does it? How does that work?
So, this is what I've learned. Cards are kind of like the stock market, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is like, you know, when you buy a stock, you're hoping that the company explodes or does really well, and then like boosting the price of it.
Right.
It's the exact same concept with a player. So right now,
Like your Zach Wilson card.
yeah, like, you know, he was basically signed on, and then they brought Aaron Rodgers on for Zach to sit on the sideline and watch and learn from Aaron Rodgers, and then
That didn't pan out.
that did not pan out for Aaron Rodgers, the Jets, or Zach Wilson. And the hopes would be that Zach would go out there and just show out, right? Which he did not do.
No.
And so I had some of those Zach Wilson cards that like they were rookie cards and they were like rookie prisms, like they look fancy. and shiny. I'm just like, oh, please do. So I was watching the game, and he actually like started out fairly well. But if he had done really well and then consistently stayed well, like that card value would go up.
Right.
So right now the hot topics are Brock Purdy and Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
Right. So like those rookie cards, like base rookie cards, you know, $3 or $4, $5, $10 maybe, right, per card. But like that patch booklet that I showed you with the signature and the patch,
Yeah.
that value right now is at fluctuating between like $150 to $200.
Really?
And so um, they're saying like Kenny Pickett's like the real deal. Like he plays tonight, and if the Steelers win, they'll be number one. Which like that if I wanted to sell it right then, that would like add value.
Right.
But if I hold on to that, and let's say in the next 2, 3, 4 years, or heck even this year, I don't know, you never know what could happen. He all of a sudden like turns into the next Patrick Mahomes.
It's just gonna skyrocket value, right?
Through the roof. Yeah. Like right now, for example, Eric actually has one of these cards. It's a base rookie Patrick Mahomes card, right? Just a card that used to be like commonly could get like his rookie year. Nobody knew he was going to be who he's going to be, right?
Right.
It's $250. Yeah, just because it's Patrick Mahomes and it's a rookie card from the year that
Blows my mind, dude.
I know, yeah. And so the hopes would be that Kenny Pickett goes off and is like a huge star, fingers crossed, and then those cards will go up in value substantially. Now it may be like a 5, 6, 7 year ordeal, depending on how fast they can get he can get going. But yeah, that's why like those Trevor Lawrence cards are so expensive,
Right.
So like I had pulled that one, didn't realize how expensive it was. But I mean it was a Trevor Lawrence rookie. It looked cool, it was shiny, had cool colors on it. I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah, cool.
I'll take it to Mike, see what he says. And then his like eyes opened up. I was like, dude, this is an expensive card. So
Hell yeah. But like
it's a lot of fun.
So like you mentioned to me earlier that you traded him for some other. It's like you traded that Trevor Lawrence card to him for some other some other cards. But like if you wanted to, could you go to a card shop and just be like, here's what this card's been valued at? Can they Can they just like slide the money across the table to you and buy that card from you then? Or is
yeah, if they want to. I mean, it's all up to the shop.
Yeah.
Obviously they have to. What I've noticed, I've been watching a lot of like the card show, like shorts and little YouTube videos, like people at card shows. And they keep throwing around this like 80% thing. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure my understanding of it is like, let's say a person's got a card set out for $100.
Okay.
About 80% is where the buyer would want to be at. So they have some value in it, right? So they're not like upside down on the card. I think that's how that works. I think. So if I were to take that, if I were to take $100 card to Mike and ask for just cash, and it was something he wanted to buy, he's obviously going to buy it at a certain markation.
Right. So that he can make some money back when he sells it to the next guy.
Sell it or like trade it. Because like for that Trevor Lawrence card that I traded today, it was selling around like $275, $250. He gave me a trade value of $220, which I was good with. And then he gave me like $175. So that was like card to card. And then he gave me like $175 towards what they call wax, which are like the packs.
Okay.
Yeah. So like if I wanted a blaster box or something like that off the shelf. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
each shop might do it differently, but they could like, if it was something really valuable or something they really wanted for even their own personal collection, they could just cash you out right there for.
They could, yeah.
For X amount of what the card's worth, so that way they can make money.
Yeah.
You're not getting ripped off either. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like so far, I mean, I have some cards that I would make several $100+ off of, but I'm just kind of sitting on them now. Like these Trevor Lawrence rookies I have, like if he, turns into some huge superstar, which I mean, he's kind of projected to do that.
Yeah, he's already a pretty big name.
Yeah. And just, it will only ever go up in value, right? Just like a Jordan rookie card, depending on the grade, is like a 5-figure card.
Right.
$25 grand for like a, good condition one. Like,
For a
you
card.
just never know. And so it's kind of like a stock investment.
Yeah.
So the issue there, what he's explaining to me is like I pulled a really cool Peyton Manning card.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like a rookie Peyton Manning or anything like that, but it was like a special design that they don't make much of. I'm going to try to actually get it back from him. Like when I take these cards that I pulled today, I'm going to try to see if I can get it back from him just because I like it. And it was like the first like really super cool card, but it's just like, it's a parallel or it's like hollow, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got like rockets around it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's super cool. And, it's like valued at like $40, so I'm gonna try to get it back just because it's like my first cool one. But it will like consistently hold that value since Peyton Manning's such a huge name.
Right.
Yeah, he's a superstar.
Well, and
So,
since he's retired too, it's not like he's going to do anything further
Yeah.
with his football career to up the value anymore
Yeah.
of that particular card.
Yep. So the only thing that could possibly happen is it go down a little bit. But like he said, he was telling me that card specifically, like it's pretty like it'll fluctuate, but stay within those two like
Probably like
highs
35,
and lows.
45.
Yeah. So
Not bad.
it's super interesting to learn, and to just the cards are so cool.
Right.
And the dopamine that you get from just opening a pack and then like getting a little glimpse. So what I've learned too is like if you're rolling through a pack and then all of a sudden there's an upside down card, probably a signature card, like if it's facing the other way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's super cool. Like I didn't know that the first couple that I pulled. I was like, oh.
Then you started connecting dots like all these signature cards are
Yeah.
backwards in the packs. What's that? What's up with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like the memorabilia ones are flipped upside down. Yeah. It's pretty neat.
Man, don't get me started in another hobby. Please don't. I don't have time for the hobbies I have now.
What kind of hobbies you got now?
I mean, hunting, fishing.
Yeah.
I would say I don't have time to play video games, but that's not 100% incorrect.
Yeah. I've been playing Diablo 4 a lot.
Never played Diablo.
I played the like number 2 on the computer and it was all right, but then I have a lot of buddies from work that play it. I haven't played with them, but they were telling me that's a lot of fun. So I was like, $75, I'll buy it.
Right.
And it's a lot of fun. It's a hack and slash.
Okay.
It like takes zero skill, right? Like as
lot
long
of-
as
a lot
you
of
are
punching the right button combos. And
Yeah.
That's it, huh?
not even combos.
Just-
There's players out there that like set up their timing and everything that like get real heavy into it. But for where I'm at, it's like, all right, cool. As long as you're stronger than the person or like the monster you're fighting, you'll be good.
Right.
Yeah. So
Man, I'll tell you what, there's a series of games that I will not touch ever
What's that?
again.
what's that?
It's a game series called Dark Souls.
Dude, I heard about that. What is this thing?
So, do you need to take a pause?
No, you're good. I was just checking to see how much battery we got.
Okay. So Dark Souls came out at a time when a lot of people were criticizing the video game industry for being like too easy, giving too many hints, too many like if you're stuck here, here's a clue.
Tell you how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's only one difficulty setting on Dark Souls, and it's soul crushing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what it's called, but that's what I call it because
how
like
it feels.
it's difficult.
Yeah.
They give you a basic walkthrough of all your controls.
Yeah.
At least this is how Dark Souls 3 was, because that was the one I bought when we bought the PlayStation. You get a basic walkthrough of your controls, and this is after you spend an hour building your character and like
Oh.
the character customization. Like I'm talking everything down to nose width, how
Wow.
thick your eyebrows are. Like I said, you could spend as long as you wanted to.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So I got bored 20 minutes in, and I just hit randomize and went.
Nice.
So I don't even know what my dude looks like. I haven't fired that game up in so long because I cannot get past the first area.
Really?
Like I got through the walkthrough, I beat the first boss somehow, but
Yeah.
a lot of it is timing your attacks,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not going back to Dark Souls.
Did you ever play Elden Ring?
So that's actually made by the same company.
Yes. That's why I brought it up, because I went in to buy Diablo 4 from GameStop. Because I'm old school. I love having the disc.
Yeah.
Like, gotta have the box and gotta have the disc, right? Now it's all like you can download it. Like I downloaded Diablo 4 on the Xbox page or whatever, which that sucked. I want the case.
Right.
So I went in to buy the GameStop here in town. I went to go buy Diablo 4, and it said they had one, but they didn't. And so I was like, I don't know. I heard Elden Ring's a lot of fun, like super cool, and the graphics look super cool. And so I bought that, dude. So like I died 30 seconds in. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
so stupid. Like I played it and played it, and it was just like it felt like it took forever, and I wasn't getting anywhere. And every boss I fought, like it was super technical.
Mm-hmm.
I did not have fun with it.
But
So
but I mean, I don't know if that says anything about us as gamers, but I need something a little bit like less soul crushingly frustratingly difficult.
mm-hmm.
Like dial it back just a bit.
Do you think when I take drinks of this, it's like ASMR for people?
I think that's one of my biggest bugaboos about watching or listening to another podcast is hearing somebody take a drink on mic.
You said that like the first time.
I just
Why does it bother you so much?
because for some people that might be an ASMR thing, but
Grosses you out.
doesn't really even gross me out. It's just like I don't want to hear that shit.
Oh.
Like like you've noticed every time I take a drink over here.
Actually, I noticed that the first time just a second ago. I was like, is someone walking in?
No.
That's what I thought it was for a second.
But no, so I don't need another hobby with going back to cards. Like that's why people ask me all the time, dude, why don't you fly fish? You love fishing everything else. Like, because that's one more thing I don't need to.
Fly fishing is a blast.
Hey, stop it.
Well, I haven't done it in so many years, but like I got a fly rod. I think it's where's it at? It's it might be out in the garage.
I mean, I've got two of them, and I've got a box of flies.
Yeah.
Do I know how to do it? Absolutely.
Eric's dad taught Eric and I how to fly fish. Well, he taught me how to fly fish. I think Eric already knew, and I fell in love with it immediately. The first time I caught a fish, I fell in love with it, and then I started really getting into like the flow. I was like, oh, this is cool. I loved it. Just get into it. Just go buy like a fairly nice or like beginner fly rod.
I've got two of them.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, they're up at mom and dad's, but I've got like a box of flies. I couldn't tell you what any of them are called. I know a couple of them are wet flies, some of them are dry flies,
Yeah.
but that's about it. But it's like
We can make a little like dudes weekend down to Bennett Springs.
you go mess around with some flies.
Yeah. Do a little fly fishing. I got a good buddy from Platte County that's a huge trout fisherman. He loves going down there.
I'm taking my spinning rod too, though.
Oh yeah. The last time I went fishing down there, there was like, like the section we're at, there's like a little waterfall and like a little peninsula, like, not peninsula, but like it was kind of weird.
Like a little jetty you could walk out on.
Kinda.
Mhm.
Yeah. But no, I mean kinda, but like the way the bank above the waterfall was set up is that you were like if you were standing on the top bank, you could look down into the basically like over the water on the lower portion, right? And so you could literally sit up there and throw a rod into the deep hole. And that's what these guys. It made me so mad. Like we were there fly fishing
Mm-hmm.
and doing fairly well, and then they went up on that upper part and just casted like 3 or 4 spinning rods with rooster tails and just set them there.
Yep.
Like basically took like over our area. And I was like, me being me at the time, I was going to be like, I'm going to just cast my line into theirs. And then we can go about it from that point on. See
Right.
what happens. But I didn't. We ended up leaving. I think Eric's dad actually said something to them. So, because there was like other people that were fishing closer to the actual fall as well. So they basically cast it over those people's lines.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, what? Yeah.
No etiquette.
None.
None.
But you and I have both experienced a lot when it comes to people and their hunting etiquette.
No, dude.
That goes back to the whole shotgun shell thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Goes back to that, and I mean, people setting up way too close on top of you on public areas.
Yeah. Which I
People-
get, it's public, but at some point you're shooting
Right.
like a gun.
Yeah.
Not very safe.
You have it's not. I always heard it as it's not a weapon unless you're using it to kill somebody with. But at the same time, when you're hunting, you're using your firearm, your weapon to kill something.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're sitting out there with a weapon in your hands. I've had steel shot rain down on me before.
Yeah. Same here. Set up a tree stand at Bilby.
Oh, that's right.
So, when I did not dove hunt,
Mm-hmm.
and had no idea when dove season was,
Right.
I decided to go set up a tree stand opening morning of
Oh,
dove
wow.
season. So me and my buddy, it wasn't Nate, it was another buddy. I was up in the tree, and then he's like, "Is it raining?" And I look up, and it's a perfectly clear sky. And like obviously we had heard gunshots, and like people were like, we didn't know what was going on. We're like, I was like, that's lead shot. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked it up. And it was dove season. I was like, okay, makes sense.
Way to go.
Yeah.
No, mine. The most memorable one I have is.
Oh my god, do you smell that, buddy? You got some rot gut or gut rot going on. Okay, I'm sorry. I woke you up.
You're good.
I woke you up. I'm sorry, buddy.
Way to go.
All right, keep going.
Most memorable time I got rained on was. Oh shit! It was me, Banks. You know Banks.
Yeah.
And a
His
couple.
groomsmen in your wedding.
Yeah.
So plus, I'd known
were you?
before then. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys knew each other from Rogers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it was me and him and a couple of his buddies, and I couldn't tell you the name of the place. I was really hungover that morning. I know that I stayed up there with him, and they drove.
Did you go south?
No, we went north. So at the time, he was still living up in St. Joe.
Okay.
So I have no idea where exactly we went.
I think I remember this story. Maybe keep going.
Yeah, these guys set up like 100 yards
I'm trying to think what
on
it's
top
called.
of us.
Yeah.
And I don't know why the birds didn't like our spot, but like theirs. But as they were shooting at their birds, I guess they didn't know that we were sitting that close. Like we could see them. I guess they somehow couldn't see us. Like our camo was better or something.
They just didn't care.
Yeah,
I guarantee they saw you.
They didn't care.
Yeah.
But it was the first time I'd ever had it happen to me, and I was, it was pretty overcast,
Yeah.
and I was thinking, hey, it's weird. I'm getting pelted in the head, and it kind of hurts a little bit. And I went to look up and see if it was raining, and Banks like reached over and grabbed me and said, "Hey, keep your eyes down. They're shooting again." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, that's not rain. You're getting steel shot to the dome."
That's crazy, dude. That's insane. You got what was that? President's or vice president's name that shot that dude in the back?
Oh, Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney. You got
Yep.
Dick Cheney.
About got Cheney.
Was it Ken Zora?
No, it wasn't Kenzora.
Oh.
That is a good spot that gets really crowded really quick though.
Was it Belcher? That's kind of by St. Joe. It's a big.
You're talking about Belcher Branch,
Yeah.
the conservation lake out there?
Yeah.
No,
That's where Colby was this morning.
no, I have no idea where this was. It seemed like it was out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You rolled up to the parking lot and there was like, honestly, it looked like someone's property,
Really?
but it had the big conservation sign on it. But like there was a barn and a silo right next to the conservation sign, and I don't know. We didn't walk in super duper far, so I don't have a good idea of how it was laid out, but
Not Wolf Creek.
definitely wasn't Wolf Creek,
Yeah, you would know that one. You'd remember that one. You've hunted there enough.
right? Which hey, are we taking the kayak this year so that we don't all have to paddle across on one boat?
That
That was
depending how life goes in the next couple months, either that or I'd like to come in and just buy that beaver tail from you guys.
do it.
See if old Steve would cut me a deal on it.
I'll put a good word in for you.
Yeah, I'd like to get that and get a little 2.5 horse or something like that. I miss having that thing. I don't really like the motor I had on it just because it was a whatever it's called till. It wasn't a till motor. It was a
Oh, a hand control.
yeah,
Yeah,
but like it dropped straight down. Whatever that's called.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, just
Instead of being like a long tail.
a trolling motor instead of a surface drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like a service drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
Or
like a fan boat.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
I don't know where you'd put it in at Wolf Creek though.
Yeah.
I don't know if there even is a. There's probably not a ramp there, is there?
Wolf Creek?
Yeah.
For the river there is.
Yeah, but I'm talking about for that hole that you and me and Lincoln and Nate always go hunt.
Yeah. Well, that hole would have to the river would have to let out
Yeah, it'd have to flood some.
for it to flood. There's apparently really big deer out there too.
Well, yeah, it's surrounded by
Yeah.
cropland.
Yeah. She's probably gonna try to go. You can rifle hunt it.
What?
You can rifle hunt that land, yeah. You can rifle hunt that and not Monkey Mountain. It's right next to Monkey Mountain.
Road 400?
No.
No.
I bow hunted it several times. Chris Leeson told me about it.
That's not Bob. Not Bob's.
It's just north of It's just north of Road 400. Oh, what's it called? I can't remember.
You guys know that area better than me.
It's a cool spot. Some hard hiking to get up to like the good area,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's pretty cool. He
I
said
just
it's not
don't
really
know.
worth. At least as of like 2 years ago, this group of New Yorkers would come into town and they'd set up a camper.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, you could camp in like certain spots, and they would rifle hunt the hell out of that place. Rifle hunting public land scares me though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I stay off if I can't make it up to Grandpa's. I'm not going somewhere public that allows rifles.
yeah.
You know, like
It's-
I'll go to an archery only spot in rifle season and just buy my rifle tag and use my bow for that particular weekend if I
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah. My first ever experience with public land hunting was Smithville. It was just all around terrible experience because
Mm-hmm.
I had set up a tree stand and then had to run into some guys that got like really irritated. I was probably like half a mile away from where they were setting up at, and they lost their mind that like I used maybe quarter of a mile of like the same path to get going toward like just walk the edge of a cornfield
Mm-hmm.
to an actual like power line path, and then they split off to the right, and I went deep into the woods off to the left. I mean,
But
no
they were
deer.
so mad
They were
about.
pissed off. I mean, they probably they kind of look the type to like hit the crystal meth pipe here and there. So, not to be judgmental, but
It's all right.
yeah, it was not a good interaction. And,
Yeah.
Um, I was like, oh, I don't want to hunt out here anymore. And actually, I had gone back to get my tree stand, and it was like right around rifle season, and in that cornfield where there was like maybe one ladder stand, there were, I think, 6 more on maybe,
Just sprouted up because rifle season was coming.
yeah, maybe on 80 acre,
Yeah, it's nuts.
maybe 50 acre. It was a small cornfield. I was like, every direction, like there's crossfire issues here.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, like one stand across from the other, like on the other side.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
But I mean, for a lot of people, that's what Not everybody got as lucky as me, where I've got Grandpa that's got acres and acres and acres. I can go rifle hunt on and not see a soul.
yeah,
And even if they do, they may not have time to go up to their wherever
Yeah.
spot.
which same. So yeah, like if they're in that spot, if people are in that spot, I get it. But at some point, like common sense and safety's got to come into play.
Oh yeah.
Because you're walking into a field with others with high power rifles. You don't know where their mindset's at. Just like that, those 2 dudes I ran into like during bow season. Like we were like midway through bow season. Like, well, it was before rifle, so what, 2 months in,
Mm-hmm.
basically, month and a half in, and they were just now setting up their tree stands like in the woods, and so it's like, and they lost their mind that it was supposedly near them.
How dare you use the same public area as them?
Yeah, you never know how someone's gonna like, go off and then all of a sudden just make a bad decision or lose their mind, and yeah. So I get that people have to use what they have accessible to them, but at some points it's like it's just not worth it.
Right.
So, like, honestly, it'd be safer to go poach, which don't do that.
Yeah, we do not condone that.
Do not condone it at all. But yeah, let's see.
How's the recorder doing?
Oh, we're doing just fine.
What are we at now? About 45 minutes?
Yeah, actually, almost like right on the dot.
Man, I'm good.
48. Yeah, you're doing good. You doing good? You need to take a piss break or anything?
No, I'm good right now.
Are you? Well, cool, man. Let's keep the gravy train rolling.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So is your bow all set up for the season, or?
I'm confident enough that I could make a kill shot.
Yeah.
Is it, hitting a golf tee at 40 yards like I want it to? No.
Yeah.
But that's the level of being able to shoot that I demand of myself.
Well, that's good.
Where,
You don't want to be like Michael Waddell and shooting doe at 75 yards.
no, I mean, if I could do it and do it efficiently and, have the deer die, absolutely.
The guy's an incredible shot.
Oh,
and, yeah.
One of these days, I think I'd like to reach that level, but a lot of the spots where I'm hunting at, talking about Grandpa's,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an open field to sit on the edge of where I've got a super long shot. A lot of it's back in the timber ways where my longest shot may be 40, 50 yards max.
Nice.
And if the deer's coming, I'm going to keep letting them come in. But no, I hold myself to that higher standard of like, I want to be able to you know, split a golf tee long ways at the very least at 20 yards
Yeah.
because, and this is going to sound weird, but I saw a guy on TikTok put it into words really well. That animal is not counting on you, but counting on you to, harvest it efficiently with the least amount of pain inflicted possible. So being able to make good shot placement there is pretty crucial to me.
I like that. I've never thought of it that way. Obviously, you never want an animal to suffer
Right.
for two reasons. Like,
It feels bad, one.
one, and then there's also stress hormones that if you were looking to eat that animal, process it, put it in your freezer, like the stress hormones will dump into the body. And there's some people say that they can genuinely taste the difference between like a rifle kill and a bow kill. Because typically you get shot, rifle, done.
Right.
Bow shot, sometimes there's tracking involved.
I'd say more often than not with bow hunting, yes, I'd say there's tracking involved. More so than with a rifle shot.
Yeah, I think you have to hit some sort of like spinal shot with a bow to drop it in his tracks. But even then, still not dead, just
Right.
paralyzed typically. So, yeah,
But no, I'm feeling pretty confident that something walks in front of me that I feel like pulling back on. May have to track him, may not have to, but he's going down.
call Matt Davis,
That's true.
broken arrow,
That's true.
game recovery.
Yeah. Who? Matt Davis?
Have you not met Matt before?
I don't think so.
So he's the third Matt in our Matt trifecta in that friend group that hunts and hangs out up there at Matt's place.
Oh, is that
Yeah, Matt Ward.
Yep.
You got me, Matt Dillman, and then Matt Davis. So
He's not the one you guys call Big Cat, is he?
no, dude. Oh, Big Cat. No, I Big Cat was one of my closest friends, and there was zero ill. If anything, he's got ill feeling toward me. Um, but yeah, that was my boy through college. Him and Nate, like my boys through college. Like Big Cat was a man, and still think very highly of him. But he invited me to his wedding, and I did not go because my now ex-wife wanted to go to a friend of hers, or not, I can't even call her a friend. There's like a coworker. She wanted to go to her wedding. At least that's how I remember the conversation happening and how like it going down. And I was like, but it's like it's Big Cat's wedding. Like, how close I was to this guy. I mean, he like, I don't know. Like I said, he was like my second right hand man in college, and we always hung out, did everything together, and didn't go. And then noticed after that, like we didn't really talk.
Yeah. Yikes.
I have a handful of regrets in my life, and that's definitely one of them. So
yeah,
but no, that was not Big Cat.
Okay.
Matt Davis is a friend of Chet's. They went to high school together. They went to school together.
Okay.
And he works for. He's got a full-time job, but here, like the past 3 or 4 years, he started a game recovery business. Like he got a bloodhound, trained it.
Yeah, because does Chet work with him on that, or is he just
no?
Chet just supports his.
Yeah, we all just support him.
Okay.
I edited a couple. Like he started a YouTube channel last year, and I edited a few videos for him. I feel like they turned out well, like pretty well, and they got some good traction.
Okay.
I got overwhelmed with life and stuff, so he's now taking that all on. But I've been on several tracks with him, and it's so cool, dude. So cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and I first thought that Mabel is his dog's name, and she tracked off the scent of like blood. But then I was like, wait, no, because sometimes you'll have a kill shot where there's like zero blood. It just takes a long time, right?
It's all internal. They're not bleeding all the way out, right?
And so it's actually off the glands, off the back of the deer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
interesting. I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
That's new information to me that they go off the glands, not the scent of the blood.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So it was really cool. Like sometimes if we, when we kill some doe, he'll have us like actually cut the hind legs off so we can use them to like
keep
hind
them fresh?
like ankle like gland area so we can keep them fresh.
Nice.
And then train Mabel with them. Yeah, it's really cool. The videos are super cool to watch. Anybody listening, you want to have some entertainment, go watch Broken Arrow Game Recovery. I'm pretty sure that's what it's. His YouTube channel. handle is, Broken Arrow.
Well, I know I'd seen Chet wearing that hat a few times, and so I thought that
I think
Chet was
it's,
like in.
I think that's the hat I'm wearing right now. Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
green on the front, black mesh back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you're looking right at me.
Well,
So.
yeah. Well, your hat was on backwards. I
Here.
didn't.
Say Broken Arrow.
Yep, it's got a picture of a bloodhound on it and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. It's super cool to watch.
I just got real close to the mic there, so sorry. Don't do that.
That drive you nuts.
No, that was just weird.
That drive you nuts. I asked Davis if he wanted to come on here. This is like, he's actually done some huge tracks. And well, I don't want to like, he's done some big tracks for some big names. Like hopefully I have him on at some point. He's a great dude. Hopefully I have him on at some point and he can talk about those. But yeah, he's done some pretty dope stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. And
Yeah.
dude has tracked some absolute stud deer. It's unreal.
Oh, I'd believe it.
Yeah. It's unreal.
I'd be curious. Yeah, you definitely got to get him on here now because I'd be curious to hear how many, how many tracks he does a year, like how busy,
I know he has a ratio that he goes by, like a percentage, like success to failure, I guess.
like
Whatever.
recovery rate type.
Recovery rate, yeah. And I think he's been on the higher side, like that upper percentage,
Awesome.
which is what they look for, obviously. So, yep.
Yeah, definitely get him on here. I want to hear some stories. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Dude, all of our friends could come on here and tell some stories.
Oh yeah,
Ward's in Alaska right now hunting brown bear
right.
with his dad, who's hunting moose. Like,
And they probably got
Here.
fishing rods with them.
well, I don't know about that.
No.
Like the weather's been, it sounds like they're having a blast. Let me read this little snippet to you. So he's got this cool like satellite phone. I think that's what it is. I don't know, but we've just been texting here back and forth. Let me see if I can find this. We took off right as in a plane. Right, we took off right as the sun was setting, in dense fog. Halfway through, he said he probably couldn't get me in until the next day. Then out of nowhere, he whips the plane down and put it on the beach, unloaded my stuff, and says, "Grab your gun and one bag and start walking."
Damn.
Start walking down the beach. About 2 or 3 miles down there, the guides will find you. Good luck. And takes off. I had to walk 3 miles down the dark beach till I found my guides. It was fun, LOL. In
Damn.
grizzly country, in the dark.
Do
Like-
you think that every snap of a twig or like any rustle behind him just sent him into a miniature panic?
I don't know. He's a brave dude, right?
I mean, I
But,
know,
like,
I know he's usually
bravery at some point facing a giant beast like that. Like, it's just
home
out the window.
Well, but I mean, in its home country,
Yes.
it's dark.
Yes.
You have no idea where they are because, from what I understand, bears are actually incredibly stealthy.
Yeah. Start of a fucking crazy movie, in my opinion. Like, it could have.
Yeah,
Right. Or like if he like one of the most epic hunting shows episodes ever.
true.
But yeah, no, I would be on high alert. I don't know. If my pilot just whipped the plane down and was like, "All right, get your stuff, get your gun, grab a bag, start walking."
Right.
In the dark. Or even at dusk or dawn.
Dude, I'd
whatever
be
one
flipping
it
out.
is. Yeah. In bear country.
Yeah, no, I don't
Could
think
you
I'd-
imagine how wild it'd be to like actually like
Dude,
come in contact with a bear, kill it, and then walk to your guides and be like, "Hey, so I just filled my tag by myself.
Right. Hey guys,
Damn near killed me, but
right.
hey, great story." So I know they've been doing some wild stuff. He hasn't been telling us everything, so he's gonna come on for sure and talk. I mean, because out of all my friends, he's experienced the most exotic hunting. I mean, he's been to Africa,
Right.
New Zealand.
What they go to New Zealand for? Red stag, probably.
I think so.
That's what I want to go there for.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because it's
Like that's their.
yes, because
I'm
it's
sure that's
it's in
their-
his cabin.
Yeah.
It's a giant animal.
Oh yeah, they're not small.
Unreal. So he's gonna come on and have him talk about all his crazy stories.
That'd be awesome.
He's probably the most committed out of all my friends, like the most committed to hunting. That I mean, all of us obviously love to hunt,
Mhm.
but I'm pretty sure if someone came up to him and was like, "Hey, I'll pay you X amount of money a year to just hunt. That's all you do: create content, manage your land."
If you think for a minute he wouldn't accept that deal.
I think all of us would probably accept that
Well,
deal,
yeah,
though.
but
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
I would take a massive pay cut for someone to like come up to me like, "Hey, I'll pay you,
Mm,
X amount of money to go guide ducks all year."
yeah, yeah.
Maybe
I don't know if I would take a pay cut, but if they were at least willing to offer me what I'm making now,
I'd
oh,
do it.
100%.
Oh yeah, for sure, without question.
100%.
Without question.
And that's without benefits because you're gonna have to pay for your own benefits if someone's paying you to go do that.
Who needs health insurance?
Right? Yeah. Just kick me out in the woods if I start getting real sick. I'll come back or I won't.
Yeah, I'll find some natural remedy.
Right.
Dude, okay. So this is off topic. This is off hunting.
Okay.
What was his name? I was gonna ask you about this because I know you're a huge country fan,
Oh boy.
and I saw this the other day. What was his name?
Cody Jinks.
Zach Bryan.
What about him?
Are you a friend of him? Or not friend? Are you a fan of him?
I don't know, man. So I am almost like a musical hipster. Like
What's that mean?
so the fact that people won't shut the fuck up about Zach Bryan right now and
Drive you
keep
nuts.
drives me nuts and keep telling me to keep listening to him, that makes me not want to listen to it at all.
So maybe this will help you not want to listen to him at all anymore, or just like add fuel to that little fire.
What do you do?
My buddy showed me this video, and I know I haven't like really released what I do for work, but it might be a little obvious after this. We'll see. And like I've said in one of the other episodes, it's nothing crazy. I just don't like talking about it.
Right.
I was at work, and my buddy showed me this video of him interjecting himself on a car stop. Now, it was like his security guard,
Right.
but he basically pulled up behind the cop car, got out, and said, "What the hell's taking so long?"
Oh,
And
no.
the cop was super chill the whole time. He's like, "Well, conducting a traffic stop. Please get back in your vehicle and leave." He's like, "Well, I'm just trying to figure out." I'll send you the video link. I'm paraphrasing here. He's like, "Well, I'm just trying to figure out why this is taking so long." And he's like, "Well, I'm conducting a traffic stop. Like, you're not involved in this. Like, get back in your car, please, and
Right.
leave." And it finally comes out that it is his security guard. I think it was an expired license plate, and he was speeding. But he was basically refusing to get back in his truck, and the cop was level-headed the whole time. He was like, "Hey, you kind of have two options here. Like, you can go back to your truck and just I'll come talk to you here in a little bit after I've concluded this, or you can go to jail. We'll take me to jail." I was like, "Okay, turn around, put your hands behind your back." And so he does it, being a smartass, puts the silver bracelets on him, and he immediately is like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I was just being a punk. I was just like, I was just being dumb. Like, this isn't the first time this has happened to me." And the guy was like, "Hey, man, I gave you an option. Like,
Right.
you're clearly like,
At this point, you're in the wrong.
yeah."
You
like,
knew that this was going to happen.
I was like, "Well, that's my security guard. I was wondering why it was taking so long." And then he's super apologetic and like,
Oh, wait, hold on a second. So the security guard was the one getting arrested,
no,
or the one getting the traffic stop conducted on him.
yeah,
And Zach Bryan.
pulled up in his truck behind the cop and got out. And then, like, as the cop's standing at his security guard's car's window,
I got you now.
because I'm assuming they were all in some sort of
Like a convoy
Convoy,
type setup,
yeah.
right?
he interjects himself, and so he sits him down in the car and is talking to him. He's like, at the beginning, he's like, "I'm so sorry, man. Like, I was just being dumb. Like, can we please just like forget about this and like take the cuffs off? I was just being, I was just being ignorant." And the police officer like, "Hey, we're kind of past that point, man. Like, excuse me, goodness, my little blue raspberries fighting back. Oh, but he's like, I told you what was going on. I gave you the option, and you told me to arrest you.
Right.
Like, you're interfering with a legal traffic stop." And then it went from him being apologetic, and then him like realizing, okay, like, hey, I'm actually gonna go to jail. And then all of a sudden he's like, "Man, this is why the people hate the effing police. Like, I don't know why you gotta be a D-bag about it, and why you just can't let me go, and we can forget that this ever happened." And I was like, It made me so mad, dude.
Oh, I
Just
don't blame you.
entitled people. And I've been hearing the same thing that like you've been hearing. Like, oh, you gotta listen to this guy. You gotta listen to this guy. He's great. And I will never listen to him.
So here's my thing. I will give him this. He is an incredible wordsmith. Like all the songs that he's written are very well done.
Yeah, I don't have it. I've never listened to one.
But at the end of his song called Condemned, he pretends to cry. Like his song is so heartbreaking to him, he pretends to cry, I guess.
Nice.
I can't fucking get past that. I'm sorry for the language, but
That's okay.
it's annoying. And
Yeah.
when people are like, "Oh man, Zach Bryan this, Zach Bryan that," like, shut up. I don't care.
I don't want to hear it.
I
Yeah.
don't. And again, I like a couple of his songs. I've got them in my library on Spotify.
Yeah.
Do I know his blood type, birth date, or what his mother's maiden name was? Like some of these people that are jumping on the bandwagon of him is though? No,
Yeah.
because I don't need to know that shit.
Yeah. I lost all respect for him after seeing that video. I had never listened to his songs prior to that, but I had just heard that he was the new hype, and that that he was like the next big thing, or is the next big thing. And after seeing that video, I was like, no, I not only like was that officer super chill with you and cool and respectful to you, you're the one that interjected yourself into his scenario, like his traffic stop. You're given several warnings to get back in your car politely.
Right.
Like he's lucky he didn't just get thrown in hand. Depending on the area that he worked in, like that conversation could have gone way different.
Right.
Right?
He could have
been way more aggressive.
thrown to the ground. I mean,
Yeah, like it's all okay. This is what a lot of people don't understand. You see all these like window warriors, phone warrior, keyboard warriors, like, oh, that cop was way too aggressive. Okay, well, you don't know what area that cop works in. Okay,
right.
there is like there's a difference. There's a difference.
Right.
So, and we'll leave it at that. There's areas with very high crime rate where maybe like 1 in 5 actually want to kill you. 3 out of 5 have like thought about it, or like if they were pushed,
Right.
or like felt like their life was about like they were going to be taken to jail, might like consider it, you know.
And then there's places I'm sure where it's like,
Hey, want to come in for a cup of coffee?
right,
Yeah. So
a lot more relaxed attitude towards it. Like
yeah,
people are, less likely, or I guess more willing to admit that they messed up.
yeah, for sure.
Like, oh man, the cop stopped me. I'm in it. Like, I'm just in it now. This is how it is.
Yeah. Well, I dealt with that all the time up in Platte County.
I'm sure.
Like even up there, like finding drugs on somebody, or they're a convicted or wanted felon. Like, all right, you got me.
Right.
And now, where I work now, it's time to run, you know, or like fight you.
And it's probably people who don't have a record, or don't have anything major on the car or on themselves, but they just don't want to interact with the cops, so they just out, huh?
Yeah. So all I'm saying is that I don't know. I want to bring that because I knew you're a huge country fan. And I know a lot of like the newer popular guys. I've heard like Cody Jenks and who else?
Like Cody Johnson, probably.
Yeah. Who's that dude with the real deep voice? Why is his name slipping my head?
Josh
right
Turner.
No, he's newer.
Newer than Josh Turner.
Well, Josh Turner's like pretty old school.
Yeah, maybe he's not that old.
He's a young guy.
Yeah.
It's Blacktop Road.
Long Black Train.
No. Sleeping on the Blacktop.
Oh, Coulter Wall.
Coulter Wall, yeah.
Yep.
Like you introduced me to him, his music and all that, and so I had heard of this Zach Bryan guy, and just wanted to pick your brain on that and tell you that. I'll send you a link to it. It's funny to watch, but just to interject yourself like that and then get told options and then actually get taken to jail and then turn around and be like, "If the police is why nobody likes you," like, well, okay, you're just an entitled prick,
right?
So
yeah, oh shoot, I'm gonna ruin my brother's day because when you send me that link, I'm sending it to him.
He's a
huge Zach Bryan fan.
Yeah. Yep, I'll send it to you. I'll find it. It's a good one to watch.
All right. I'm not doing anything tonight anyway.
Yeah.
A couple extra chores and then getting ready for the grind.
Who's a good country music singer to look out for now? Do you got any suggestions?
I mean, it depends what you like.
Country music's kind of the same to me.
Wow, okay.
I knew that'd be like a knife.
That's like saying
Stick in the dagger and turn it.
that's like saying rock and roll is all the same. That's like saying Breaking Benjamin's the same as I Prevail, or the same as hang on, the same as Blink 182.
Okay.
Are all three of those bands rock and roll, or
A version.
some form of rock?
Some form of rock, yeah.
But Breaking Benjamin's new metal.
Fair enough.
Breaking Benjamin's new metal.
Yeah.
Spelled NU metal.
Oh.
Don't ask me why. That's just
Saucy.
right.
I like it.
You know, you got your pop punk with Blink 182,
Yeah.
and then you got. Actually, I don't even know. A lot of people call I Prevail pop punk, but a lot of people call them metalcore too.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I'm just saying that all country's the same is like saying all rock's the same.
All right, who's your favorite person to be listening to right now?
Right now I've been listening to a lot of the Steelwoods.
The Steelwoods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they're like a southern rock country. And they've got some bluegrass influence thrown in there as well. We're actually going to go see them here in November at Knuckleheads. I'm so excited.
Really?
Yep, I bought tickets. That was my anniversary present to John.
Nice.
Well, and tickets were like super cheap too. They were $27 a pop.
The Steelwoods. I found them. What's your favorite song?
Either
Here's your top ones right now. The top 5. Let the Rain Come Down, Axe, Straw in the Wind, All of These Years, Rock That Says My Name.
it's tied between Rock That Says My Name and Axe.
Okay.
Don't play them on air. Don't
Why?
do that.
Why?
Because it won't come through the same.
That's fair. I was just going to do it for me to listen to. Okay, I'll listen to it later.
Okay. While you're out doing your job, doing stuff. Camo, what are you doing?
Why are you whining, bud?
Please don't do that.
His blood sugar's probably high.
But yeah, they're real good.
I'm going to add this to mine.
Are you on Spotify? Or are you... What am I hearing?
I think it's the walking around upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah. Spotify Premium, baby.
Yes.
Had it forever.
Dude, we just got on it back in 2020.
The Premium?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think
well,
it's
we
worth
just got
paying
on.
for.
We just got on Spotify back in 2020.
Oh,
Because you remember Justin from the wedding
sure.
gave the terrible speech.
Oh,
And that's
yeah.
all the more we're gonna say about
I
it.
don't like that dude. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If he wasn't as drunk as he was, you'd actually really like Justin. He's a pretty cool dude. But yeah, that speech was just. We're gonna leave it at. It was terrible. He knows.
All
it.
I remember is me and Banks looking at each other like,
Yeah.
are you going to go grab the mic out of his hand?
And then
And then someone did.
yeah, John's dad did
Yeah.
because he knew that he was the biggest, baddest mofo at the wedding, and no one was gonna stop him from doing it.
Yeah.
But
Jesus. Anyways.
But no, so when we were rooming with him up there in Smithville, he got us on the Spotify Premium, and back then they had the Duo account, which we still, I think it's $12.99 for John and I both to have premium.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh, it's totally worth it, man. Just the fact that you don't even have commercials.
Right. The
Right.
only do you use Spotify for podcasts though?
Like to listen?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay. So one of the podcasts I listen to on there called Scared to Death, where guy tells tales like ghost stories that he found online to his wife and tries to scare the shit out of her, and then she reads listener stories back to him. And they're all alleged to be true, but I listen to them on Spotify, and I think it's just because I'm not a subscriber to their like Patreon or whatever, I get ads for that podcast.
Well, so Spotify actually has a podcast platform that you can monetize it.
Okay.
Like depending, I mean, you can monetize it at any point. Like I have it.
Mhm.
And I think I've uploaded one episode to it. And I can turn on monetization as soon as I want. So
Okay.
that might be it too. Like if they have a big following, they might just be making a little extra money from the ads.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like the really cool thing is like between all their Patreon subscribers, because that's the guy that does that Time Suck podcast I was telling you about. Between their 3 shows because he does a member or a subscribers only one on Patreon.
Yeah.
But between all their Patreon donations, they take like a huge chunk. Like I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars each month,
Wow.
and give it to charity.
Wow.
After they've like, and then they also just set up a scholarship fund
Wow. Yeah.
where like they take a little bit of that subscriber money and put it towards the scholarship fund too.
That's cool.
And then
So you're doing some good.
yeah, they're actually, if you get the chance, listen to some of their stuff and
Yeah.
hear them interact. Yeah,
What's the scary story one called?
scared to death.
Scared to Death.
Yep, and some of them are pretty out there. Like,
Cool.
like there's some that are like really tough to suspend your disbelief that far,
Yeah.
but then there's some where like the storytelling just sucks you in, and it's like this entity is in the vehicle with you.
Maybe I won't listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not while you're at work. Well, I mean, that might be the only place
I wouldn't have time to work for it. Listen to it at work.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
We can't connect our phones to Bluetooth, but which is cool. So you can listen to stuff. Or connect our phones to the car Bluetooth.
right, but probably not that kind of stuff.
Or you can listen to whatever you want.
Well, just put the Steelwoods on.
Yeah.
You'll like it.
Yeah. Just rolling down old East Zone. Just
Mm-hmm. Listen to some
country music.
some bluegrassy country rock.
That's right.
It's good shit.
I'll definitely check them out. I'm excited to try listening to them. See
Yeah.
what they're like.
What have you been listening to a lot of lately?
Man.
Oh boy.
Well, dude, I'm just. Why I keep you on it? This caffeine ain't working. I'm such a up and down person when it comes to music. So like, yesterday, I stayed up at Ashes and was on the way back and was listening to Dua Lipa.
okay.
Just like, cause some of her songs have like that, like 80s kind of like poppy feel. I don't know.
Okay.
But
that tracks for
Put you in a good mood, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I remember seeing a while back you were listening to Architects. That song Animals. Like that was
Yeah.
one that I saw you post and you
Yeah.
listened to.
What else? Let's see.
Yeah, just
I-
find your on repeat playlist.
Yeah. I just
Listen.
listen to.
Looks like your top 5.
Here's the problem. Well, it's not really a problem, but with me, like I more or less get hooked on singular songs and will listen to them over and over and over and
Till you're
over
tired
and
of 'em?
over and over until I can either like repeat them word for word, which is very rare, because I'm more into music for like the beat.
Mm-hmm.
And like Suicide Boys, I've been listening to them. Some of their stuff's kind of dark, but they got some like some of their beats really good for the gym.
Okay.
I've been listening to Shoota, which is by Playboy Cardi and Lil Uzi Vert.
Okay.
Always been a big Future fan, kind of. He says some pretty outlandish shit in his lyrics that,
Well, I mean, his beats are usually pretty good, and
yeah,
they're not all his lyrics are wild.
dude, want to get to know you. G Unit and Joe, it like for just a cruising song.
Slaps.
Want to get to know you, dude. Yeah, just leave the beat to it, and it's got 50 Cent. It's got Lloyd Banks. I mean, it's got the whole G Unit
Okay.
crew. It's dope.
Okay.
I enjoy that. Country wise, that Oliver
Oliver Anthony.
Anthony.
Yep.
He's got some really good stuff.
He does, but
That song, dude, hit hard.
it does. And here's my thing. I was actually, dude,
Let's get into it.
I love talking to my dad because me and dad we can have some good conversations.
Let's get him on.
So we were talking
And then
about
I'll convince him to run for senator.
shit. Bill.
Bill Covington.
That's the thing now. We're gonna mention Bill at least once an episode when I'm on here.
Deal.
All
Until
right.
he finally starts listening. He's like, you know what?
These fuckers.
I'm going to come out of retirement.
I need to set this shit straight. It's not fucking Bill.
Saying.
But no, so Dad actually said it really well because I brought up that song to him while we were out fishing a couple weeks ago, just up at the farm, and he goes, that song's supposed to like unify us and make people be willing to talk to one another, conservative,
Mm-hmm.
liberal, whoever, whatever side of the political spectrum you lean towards, like that song's supposed to be unifying us. But it seems like one particular branch of that tree has latched onto it, and you know which side I'm talking about. The right wing has really latched onto that song.
Oh,
So that was,
I think that comes probably from like just the generality of
well, I feel
style
like,
of music.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that also has something to do with, I don't know that he was really expecting to reach a whole lot of people of the opposite demographic, because not as many people in that demographic are, again, just a generalization here,
Yeah.
are leftwards leaning,
Yeah.
that are going to be listening to his music.
Yeah.
So as good as the message in his song is, I don't think it's reaching the entire audience that he wants it to reach.
That's fair.
I do love the song though.
Yeah.
I think it sends a good message, like, hey, us as people are not the ones we need to be fighting.
Yeah. We don't need to be fighting each other.
Right. It doesn't matter, it shouldn't matter who you are, what you do, where you come from. Like,
Yeah.
like it is the people, the people in DC that are the problem.
Yeah.
They're the ones setting us against each other. And
Yeah. The Richmond, north of Richmond.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. I actually saw a video that had all walks of life reacting to that song, and they like in the beginning, some of them were like kind of laughing about it,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden, like some of the lyrics would hit home with them, and they were like, "Oh, Jesus,
Right.
like this dude ain't lying." So, yeah, that's a good song to listen to, and it's easy to sing to. Which
Oh,
is
yeah.
fun, especially
It
when
is.
you're in the car by yourself, just cruising.
It's kind of got almost like a sea shanty kind of bounce to it in like the lyrical line.
Oh, what?
Sea shanties, like what they would sing on ships back in the day,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah,
cruising around.
yeah. Now,
It
okay.
has that
I didn't
kind
know what
of
you said at first.
sea shanties.
I thought you said like seizure ante or something. I didn't know what you said. Yeah, sea shanty. That makes sense. Yeah.
Speaking of sea shanties, I've been listening to a lot of those lately.
What would you do with the drunken sailor? What would you do with the drunken? Yeah.
A lot of that, a lot of Leave Her Johnny.
Yeah.
Basically like the whole Assassin's Creed Black Flags sea shanty collection.
Nice. I had one of those moments when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Boy Scouts we went on this thing called Sea Base, and this story could take way too long, but I'll just cut it down to this. We sailed from, I can't remember where we pushed out at, but we were the crew of a sailboat, like a 78-foot sailboat.
Oh
The
shit.
captain, the guy that owned it, he was there on it, and then we had like the leaders, Boy Scout leaders. Well, we sailed from that spot that we put in at to Key West, stayed a night in Key West, and then sailed back. So we got to learn how to sail. We fished. I have so many stories, and we'll do that. We'll talk about it at some point. But multiple times on this trip, we hit really bad weather, and so instead of going down to the cabin with everybody else, we all locked arms up on the front of the ship, and our buddy Brian would just, and I don't know any more lyrics to it than this, but we were just crashing through waves. It was just pouring rain on us, thunder and lightning, almost going off the side of the boat, and he was just screaming, "What would you do with a drunken sailor?" Just like screaming it, just screaming at the top of his lungs. And then we would all like chime in, and I remember the lyrics from back then. I don't remember them now, but it was just like the same little
Over and over.
4 or 5 bars of lyrics of just over and over again. It was dude just crashing through waves and shooting you up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a blast. I never realized it was like a sea shanty song. Yeah, it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time.
Heck yeah. No, last time I got really drunk when I was at Lake of the Ozarks was a couple months ago. And we had taken the boat out to Frankie and Louie's down there.
Yeah.
Everybody else left because it looked like green rolling in as we were pulling up to the bar on the boat. And sure as shit, we made it to the dock, and about 5 minutes after we walked onto shore, it just let loose.
Yeah.
Like torrential downpour, and the band was playing outside, so they had, or I guess it was like covered, but the rain was coming in so hard it was coming in like
Sideways?
under the awnings.
Oh yeah.
So like the band's crew, they're struggling to put up tarps and stuff.
Oh no.
Well, the storm passed a couple hours later. And by a couple hours, I mean we were there for like 4 hours. But everybody else, so John's brother and his girlfriend had gone home.
Yeah.
And everybody else that was down there hanging out. So it was just me, John, and a couple of our friends that were down.
Yeah.
and they had gone overland to come up instead of going by boat because it was like a 3 hour boat ride for them
Oh
from
God.
where they were staying.
Yeah.
Um, so on the way back to Jackson's dock, we got into his cove, and his cove is a no wake cove.
Mm-hmm.
We had the speakers going, and I had 3 requests. I wanted to hear "Leave Her, Johnny" about 10 times in a row, apparently. Um, Gordon Lightfoot passed away this year. R.I.P. Gordon Lightfoot. So we listened to "The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald," which is like a 9-minute song. We listened to that about 4 times.
Nice.
And then I wanted to hear the Pirates of the Caribbean song.
Nice.
So
Cap it off of that one.
yep, capped it off with that. Well, we listened to that 3 times in a row, and at some point, John picked up his phone and started recording me because I was standing up like doing the Captain Morgan pose at the front of the ship,
Nice.
and I hear him holler over the music, "Hunter, do the run." I give him one of these. He goes, "Do your Jack Sparrow run," and he has video, and I think I do too. Running up the length of the boat, doing the Jack Sparrow arms flailing run, drunker than a shithoused rat. Oh goodness,
That's awesome.
that was good times.
Dude, it's always a good time down there. I haven't been to the Ozarks in years. Well, that's not true, but I went down there for like a couple work things a few years back. But like I went down there one year with Ash for a conference.
Mm-hmm.
Her and I had a good time. But yeah, I haven't been to like a lake house in forever. It's always fun. It's always fun.
It's a good time.
Are you the guy that like will yell, "Play Free Bird" when you're drunk?
No,
Because I'm that guy.
no, I hate being that dude.
I'm that guy.
Although,
Last time I went to a bar down there, what was it called? The Red Fox. This was a while ago. Oh yeah, hammered.
yeah.
Small bar, and play Free Bird. I was that guy.
Goddamn.
I'm that guy. Yeah.
So it's funny, actually, you bring that up. The other night when I had first gotten down there, Thursday night for Bike Fest, the band that was playing was just getting ready to wrap up,
Yeah.
and that was their last song that they played at the end
Free
of the night.
Bird?
Because they knew somebody at one point was going to request it, so they just wrap it up with Free
Yes.
Bird every night.
Play Free Bird. That's awesome. Have to go out with a bang.
That's right. They did.
It's a tried and true classic.
They were pretty good. I wish I could remember the name of the band, but they were good.
It was down at.
Down at the campground, yeah.
They probably have it on record. Just
Oh.
call them. Call the manager.
I could send the manager a text right now.
Yeah, she probably knows. I guarantee they have it on some sort of. She has it on record somehow.
Oh, it's on, I can pull it up on the Facebook page, I'll bet.
Yeah.
Nah.
It'd be fun to be a local band, like travel around and do that kind of stuff.
Right.
Were they? You may have already said this. Were they a cover band?
So they had, I think, a couple of their own, but yeah, mostly covers.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You just were really good at music and had a decent enough voice. Just travel around. And,
But like, would you want it? All right, offshoot though. Would you want to cover one specific artist? Like, because there's plenty of bands out there that cover like
we strictly do 80s Joel, okay?
okay, not that specific, but like,
Catalina wine mixer.
but like, that's the thing. Do you want to be like a Billy Joel cover band, or do you want to do like all sorts of stuff?
I mean, I don't know. I guess all sorts of stuff.
I was gonna say, think about like, have you ever heard of this cover band called Mini Kiss?
Yeah, I've heard. They're all,
Dwarfs,
yeah.
little people. I'm sorry.
What's the proper vernacular here?
The last I knew was many people, or not many people. Good lord,
Bro,
little
I'm about to
people.
kick you off this show.
I know we're getting canceled for that one.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
3 episodes in, we're canceled.
Yeah, it's a good run.
What are we? We're an hour and 28 minutes into the 3rd episode, and we're
And that's it.
done.
Little,
God.
little people. I was thinking of.
I don't even know if that's correct.
That's the last one that I knew.
Okay.
If it has changed since, I need to be updated.
Keep going.
Okay,
I've heard of them.
I'm just saying, like, what you could do a gimmick as a cover band, and that be like, you have this whole deal where you are just one band forever.
Yeah.
Or you could just do like all sorts of stuff. And that was this band's deal the other night was like they did everything from like Mr. Brightside, they threw in like some 80s rock,
Yeah. That's how the last cover band I saw was.
like just a little bit of here and there.
It was mainly like 80s rock and
Mhm.
whatnot, and then all of a sudden they threw in like Lizzo. I was like, what? This
Okay.
It was like this older, fat,
That's
white dude
weird.
singing some Lizzo.
Hey,
The terms little person,
okay,
or LP,
okay.
and person of short stature are the preferred terms right now, according to Wikipedia.
I got something to say about that off air.
It already canceled us now, so you might as well. If it's
Persons
that
of
bad, don't say it.
persons of short stature takes a lot of time to say,
Oh,
but you don't want to make it any shorter by abbreviating it.
oh my God. You're dumb.
I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure they'd rather be called a dwarf than a POS. That's
I
it.
just not connected that. Good Lord.
That's it. And we're done.
And we're done.
I'm gonna get nasty when we're off the air here.
No, you're not.
Matt's gonna tell me I can't say shit like that.
No, you're fine. If someone gets offended by that, they just don't have to listen.
That's
We're
true.
not saying anything bad.
That's true.
It's actually, although it was funny, it was more or less like a positive.
That's
like,
true.
Just putting that
And
out there.
and it was a learning experience.
It was a learning experience, I guess. Yeah.
Because I honestly did not know that person of short stature was like I didn't know that was what the correct term was.
Now we know.
Like I said, the last I knew was little people.
It'll be like
Or a
the
little
only time
person.
we ever talk about it on this podcast, but now we know.
Yeah,
Or it
exactly.
gets brought up in the future.
So to any little people out there that listen, now
love
we know.
you.
We do.
I love you.
We're having fun.
We're having fun. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to try to get out and go hunting anytime soon?
I don't know. I'd like to, but I want the weather to cool off.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on this Missouri fall to actually
Kick
feel,
in?
yeah, to actually feel like fall, and not just for the first couple hours of the day.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh. Sorry, the Steelers-Browns game's getting ready to start.
I thought it was your tactic cam showing us a picture of a giant buck. As we
No,
started
man,
talking
one of
about
them's
that.
dead. One of them's dead. The other one hasn't really been getting a bunch of photos.
Way to go!
Dude, I hate saying this. I'm just not that fired up right now. I think mainly because of the injury I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to take me out. Luckily, there's some crossbows within the group. I don't own a crossbow, but there's some crossbows within the group that I can
Make use of.
get my hands on and
Hell yeah!
put to work. But I don't know, man. It's been pretty annoying.
Well,
But I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. What was that?
well, and like I said, with just with the weather alone, like I don't want to go out and have to fight the ticks and mosquitoes,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, have to carry my Ozark Trail cooler in the back of the truck with at least 2 bags of ice in case I do drop a deer in this 75-degree weather.
Yeah.
And that's even provided if I do have to track him for a while, provided I find him in time to get him field dressed and get, salvage all the meat. So
Yeah.
I don't know. This time of year, like I get people that are real gung ho about it, but like September 15th being the opening day just doesn't do it for me. Like don't get me wrong. Like it's cool. Like it's open. I know I could go if I really had the desire,
Mm-hmm.
but just because of the reasons listed right there, like like I said earlier, I was down at the lake this weekend and there are big deer that run around down there at the lake,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was cool seeing them. Did I wish I had my bow with me though? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Just because, why?
There's still so much like that I feel like I need to do. Like I have this little project spot that we put a food plot in this year, and the food plot grew pretty well.
Growed?
But it did pretty good. But I bought that nice what's the brand? Tree stand.
Muddy?
No, it's
Look.
the one where as you ratchet it down, it clamps to the tree.
Oh,
Totally.
X stand.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the arm on the ladder, but it's got like the cabling system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it looks super sweet. I haven't set it up yet. That still needs to be set up.
Still in the box?
Yeah, up there.
Yep.
Yeah. But I haven't had I'm not definitely not setting it up now by myself.
Right.
I mean, I still have some function in the shoulder. Like it just like that starts to hurt. And it's not like a drop me to the ground pain, but it's like, okay, if there's any pressure on this or like I was pushing somebody or having to like lift somebody the other night, getting off topic here. okay, I haven't set the tree stand up because of the arm injury, but I like that, like scooping with my hands like this, like arms down, like just trying to like scoop my daughter back because she's about to fall off her bed.
Oh
I
no.
was scooting her back over. Like I started pushing. I was like, oh Jesus! Like you could feel it in there. So it's just fresh. It's yeah. It's been draining. I've been filling my sadness with football cards. That'll be the new hobby for I'll be football card hunting.
Hey, I mean, it's exciting. It's
So much
fun.
fun. So
It's
much fun.
minimally impactful on your shoulder.
Yeah. I will be able to rifle hunt though, which I'm excited about that
That's true.
because
Yeah,
I can use like some sort of tripod or just where I rifle hunt. There's tower blind. Look at us. Look at us just being rookies.
I know.
What a way to take a
Sponsor break,
sponsor break. We surprised it on you guys.
right? You guys didn't even know it was coming.
I don't think we did either.
I
That's what made it so great. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to those sponsors. I think we were talking about bow season and hunting,
yeah.
football cards.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, talking about how your injury's gonna mess up your season, but you'll still get out there.
Yeah. At least for rifle. I'll probably try to crossbow hunt. I don't know, maybe I'll go, like I said, appointment's on Wednesday to see what like the actual game plan is going to be for the shoulder. So hopefully if it needs surgery, if it's like on the teetering, line, like I just want to have the surgery done.
Right.
Just get it done. Get it healed up. Get it back to like as close to 100% as I can. I've never dealt with a shoulder injury before, and it's not fun. Like, just out of pure curiosity, like, I just tried, like, doing an assisted push-up. So not, like, fully on the ground, but just, like, held myself up against this bench right here. It actually wasn't this. It was the storage rack over there, and tried doing a push-up, and
Folded.
I just couldn't really do it, like, without searing pain. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to stop this because I don't want to make it any worse than it is.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have been doing that, but
Yeah.
no, yeah, shoulder injuries suck, man. When my dad had his rotator done, I think he had his right done first. And, his just came from being, hard working iron worker,
Yeah.
throwing girders and I-beams and all sorts of other shit around for,
Yeah.
at that point, the last 25 years of his life. Like, his shoulder was just like, I've had enough. And when he went and had his redone, like rebuilt, I think he was laid up for like 6 months.
Really?
Yeah, so it's a debilitating thing.
Yeah, my mom had to have shoulder surgery done, and yeah, I remember her being laid up for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hope that's not the case.
Right, me too.
Really don't want to sit at a desk for 6 months.
Oh yeah, that would suck with your line of work, wouldn't it?
Yeah, just have to sit at the desk, man. Well, I have a good buddy of mine who works in one of the other zones, and he got in a real bad car accident and had to have basically his whole hip rebuilt. And so they put him in a different part of the department for his light duty, which is cool. Like, he's actually doing some active work, which...
Well, hip's a little different than a shoulder, though.
No, I didn't mean like active as like up and moving, but he's in the recruitment and HR department helping them out. So he's actually doing like, I mean, in the desk, like you're doing some work, you're just taking walk-in reports and over-the-phone reports if you can.
Or
Luckily,
filing them into the people who...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't know.
I mean,
It's going to be an interesting couple months. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, just knowing what I know about you, though, I mean, I will never see you as suited to sitting at a desk.
No, not at all.
That's not the you I know.
Now, if I was sitting at a desk building like criminal profiles and whatnot, like that's like I'm going to try to sell that. Like I don't know where I would go to do that, but I have some investigative background and knowledge, and so like.
Do you want to come out and say what you do now? Since
I think people probably have a pretty good idea.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm a cop. There you go.
There you go.
Former detective. Yeah.
Um,
So
Current all-time badass.
that's not true.
No.
If that were the case, I wouldn't be hurt right now.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Every warrior has their day.
Former detective,
I don't know if that's the same or
current
not,
good
but
guy. It sounds good.
sounds good.
Sounds like some shit that.
No, and here's the thing, dude. And here's why I don't talk about it. Obviously, all my close friends know about it,
Mm-hmm.
but there's such a like if I'm comfortable with someone that's new, this is how I always like if our conversation is leading to us talking about that, or to where like I have to bring it up for it to, like them to understand
The
that
context
the
or whatever.
context
Mhm.
of it. I always preface it with, hey, I don't know how you feel about law enforcement or police, but like, everyone has their opinion, no judgment from my end.
Mhm.
And then I'll say it because it's kind of like what we deal with now.
Right.
We you don't know who does and who does not hate the police.
Right.
You know,
Or what their
defund
reasons
the police. What the reasons for. You know what I've noticed, man, is that like the real criminals, like the real ones,
for. Mm-hmm.
like what we call the real ones, are we typically have a mutual understanding. Like they're in the game and we're in the game.
Right.
Opposite forces. At some point, our paths will collide.
Mm-hmm.
You have the real ones that understand that to the fullest. You're like, okay, my time's up. Like, I got caught. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like a mutual respect, which is actually, once you get to that point and you experience it, it's kind of, I don't want to say cool, but it's like an interesting dynamic of life to look at. Like for example, I can't go into a whole lot of detail about it, but we had an individual at work that, most recently I know, he's still at large. We're looking for,
Mm-hmm.
right? And someone that I work with, like I'm keeping names and keeping this very dry, just
Right.
for you can probably understand why.
Mm-hmm.
He was familiar with local gang member, what we would consider like a real one,
Mm-hmm.
and went up to that person for information. And they had a constructive, like mutual, beneficial conversation.
Right.
Someone that any other person would probably look at and be like, "Why would you talk to them? That's a criminal. Like they're gonna kill you, or like they don't want to talk to you. They hate the police." What they were talking about didn't directly involve them. It did kind of,
Mm-hmm.
but they had like a mutual, like maybe not necessarily friendly conversation, but it's like
And understanding that he wasn't there for this guy. Like
But
he wasn't there for
there
the
was
guy he
that
was talking
respect.
to.
There
Mhm.
was that respect.
Okay.
Like, hey, bro, this is your job. Like, this is what you chose to do. Chose to be a cop. That's cool. I can respect that.
Right.
One day our paths might cross, and that it's going to go one of two ways, right? But
Mhm.
in this moment, I respect you, and there's no need for me to like degrade you or anything like
Right.
that. And it's opposite, or it's like the same the other way.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you chose to do with your life. You chose to be in the game. You chose to be a gangbanger, drug dealer, whatever.
Right. Doing what you're doing.
Doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I respect it. It's what you chose. At some point, our paths might cross. It's gonna go one of two ways,
Right.
right? So it's cool having that, like seeing that in action and experiencing it. And then you have the ones that like hop on the bandwagon. F the police, hate the police. That's all they've ever really known. But
Mhm.
they don't think for themselves, right?
Right.
Or they get hyped up with all the just like the static of everything that's going on.
Right.
Because here's what we experience all the time. I hate you. You're a POS. You are a tyrant. You're a bootlicker. You're, breaking people's rights.
Right. Unconstitutional.
Unconstitutional.
all that.
Like
Right.
F you. We hear it all. Same person. 911. I need the police. Someone's kicking in my door.
Right.
You hate me.
But you
want me
want
to
me
come help you and
come
save
save
you,
your
which I
ass,
will.
right. Oh, yeah.
I will. I will
Well, 'cause
unconditionally.
that's the oath that you've sworn to uphold.
Yeah, and I know that that's their opinion. That's how they think they feel.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just so much. There's just so much hype behind that whole movement. That's why a lot of cops, and you know, I'm still technically in like a younger generation. You know, I'm older than a lot of the young cops that
Right.
we have about the same amount of time on, but I got into the cop game late or
Okay.
later on, you know, because there's a lot of cops on that have the same time as me, right, as an officer, but they got in like right after high school or like right when they turned 21.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which for me, I didn't start until I was 27 or so,
Yeah,
26 or 27,
yeah, 'cause you had a couple different career paths too. Like I remember,
leading up to it. Yeah,
yeah, Rogers, DJ, all kinds of
yeah,
all kinds of stuff.
quite the array of different careers, but we're all still technically like in that, I guess, younger generation of cop,
Mm-hmm.
and we've noticed that portraying that you are such publicly is not necessarily beneficial. It's not worth my time. To like this is where I don't hardly ever wear anything with like
Like a thin blue line, or
specifically a thin blue line
right.
flag. Like I won't have that on my car. I won't
Mm-hmm.
have that on my. I won't wear a t-shirt. Not that I don't. Obviously,
Right.
I
Obviously,
back the blue,
right.
but I'm not going to portray it. I'm not going to have my car window smashed in or keyed. I'm not going to have, you know, me or my daughter harassed while we're out and about. I'm not going to have my house broke into or vandalized because I have the blue flag flying.
Or
Like,
even the thing that I've seen is color changing lights on the front porch. People turn them blue in support of
yeah,
law enforcement.
yeah,
Guess
won't do it.
guess what houses get hit?
Yeah, won't do it.
I turn my light blue on my porch because blue is like purple, and it makes my high vis orange hoodie glow at night, and it's kind of cool.
Nice.
So,
I like it.
so that's not why my porch light's blue, guys. Please don't come smash my windows.
Yeah,
But no, getting back to what you were saying though, you won't wear anything thin blue line, back the blue, any of that,
yeah, dude.
just because of the pushback that you guys as officers receive from the public, right?
Yeah, yeah. And that, I mean, that's why I was like hesitant. You know, I was acting like we had a ton of people listen to this. Hopefully, one day we do, and
Mm-hmm.
they listen to those first couple episodes. I didn't really want to divulge it, but it is what it is. And like, if you don't want to listen to this because the fact that I'm a cop, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's it's the most incredible. If you're doing it right, it's the most incredible job out there. And what I mean is, a lot of people, like, it's like any profession. It only takes one person to make the whole profession look like shit,
Right.
right? And so, unfortunately, that's the only thing that's really publicized on a national level
Mm-hmm.
is just the shit cops making bad decisions,
Right.
or just in general, bad people,
Right.
right? That somehow got through and got the badge.
Right. The guys that are, on a power trip that, they
Yeah,
have
dude,
all this
I've
power over
worked
people
with
now.
a lot of them. The ones that got pushed around in high school, like that is that. I hate saying it. That's a real thing. Now I feel powerful because I have
I've got
a
a badge and
badge.
I've got a force of guys around me that are going to back me up.
Yeah, which sucks because it makes us all look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
But like you're saying, the guys that, just go in and out, try to do their best every single day, they're not the guys that get talked about, even
Yeah.
I would say, even on a local level.
yeah,
You know,
it's very rare on a local level, right?
right? Yeah, I was gonna say I can think of maybe one post I've seen where, somebody was posting that they had a good interaction with,
Yeah.
let's say, a Liberty police officer or Carney,
Yeah.
whosoever.
Yeah, but the
But
second someone does something bad, that'll be all over local news and then potentially blast.
I was gonna say it doesn't. It could be somebody bad on either side of the continent from us,
Yeah.
and we're gonna hear about it.
Yep.
It could be somebody having, somebody took a life when, maybe the use of force didn't dictate that. Or, even somebody just having a bad interaction where
Yeah.
they mouthed off and then somebody was filming them,
Yeah.
cut off the part where they were bad mouthing the cop. And,
Yeah.
when they finally did have to get physical,
Yeah.
we just see that, that part of the interaction.
Yeah.
But that's the part that gets seen, like you said, all over the world.
Mm-hmm. Which sucks. So
Yeah.
that's why I don't talk about it. I do have
Okay.
some really cool stories, which it's out, so we'll get into it at some point and talk
Alright.
about them. But it's the most incredible, fulfilling job I've ever experienced, and I wouldn't change anything for the world. Like, I wouldn't go back and change anything
Right.
career wise. Um, yeah, man. I right now, where I was at, it kind of became mentally draining going into work. But where I'm at now, I'm still pretty fresh at this new department. It I love it, man.
A lot more stimulating, and
I,
like you feel like you.
dude, I'm just around some pretty high caliber people,
Good.
which, as a young man, fairly fresh in the career, it's just it's nice being around that.
Right.
Like people that are about it, they care about the job. Um, I deal with such little complaining. Other places I've worked, constant complaining. If you don't like the job or the place you're working at, quit. Find something new.
Right. Make something change.
There's an unthinkable amount of different career options out there.
Mm-hmm.
People make money by selling feet pictures online.
I mean, that one still
It's gross.
it baffles me.
Yeah, feet are gross.
It's not for me.
Not for me either. But like,
There's
that's what
people
I'm
there's people out there that'll pay for it, and like you were saying,
saying. Yeah,
that's somebody's day job.
yeah, yeah. But like, if your day job is like you wear a badge, you have a gun, and you go around and you can arrest people and like protect people, but you hate it and complain about it all day, you probably shouldn't have a
Yeah.
badge and a gun and go around and protect people and
Arresting
help
people,
and arrest
yeah.
people. Probably shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Probably should not be in that position. Find something else. Go sit at a fucking desk. I get fired up about this. Sorry.
No, you're good, dude. I get it.
I'm just really passionate about the job. I hate seeing where where it's gone. And
Well, it sounds like you saw a lot of burnout too on your last place you were at, where like the older crew you kind of hinted at, where is it? I don't know. Maybe it was just something you said where it seemed like
there's burnout from like the younger crowd. Like
okay.
there's burnout, but there's also very what I call like old head, like old school, which those like your old school and your new school, like they
Button
kind of
heads.
clash.
Okay.
Butt heads.
I got you now. Okay.
I heard a lot of the well, this is how we did it, so you can deal with it. I don't.
Or
Okay, you've worn a duty belt for the past 25 years, and you're dealing with lower back issues, hip issues. I would like a load bearing vest. Well, it looks scary. I don't care.
right.
If I'm going to be the one going out there working for you, representing your department, I would like to be comfortable and functional. Just little stuff like that.
Not having to deal with, like you said, back and hip issues.
Yeah, which I already have.
Well, I mean,
For my little injuries and for wearing a full duty belt the little bit of time that I did.
Mhm.
So, but the reason I got into it, man, is just because like I had always had interest in it. I just never like made the leap, and then realized how much fun it can be. Zero interest. I have zero interest and will not write tickets unless it's something that like you have to get like a ticket for. Like I'm by law required to write you a ticket, right? My interest is going after the real ones, playing that game,
mhm.
which is fun and exciting, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Oh,
But
last time I was here, you were telling me off air about, and we don't have to tell the story, but one of the real ones that you guys caught using a picture of somebody had seen a picture of the bricks
oh god,
and
Yeah.
the manufacturer. Like you
Yeah.
said, we don't have to tell that whole story on air. Like
that's
that
a
might
gross
be-
story. That's a gross story,
That's a
and
rough
we'll leave that one alone. I wasn't involved in the actual apprehension of that individual, but I did I did get to work with some of the crew that was involved in that.
Mhm.
That like got Interpol involved. Like
Right. It was a big deal.
very big deal, man. Very big deal, and it's one of the most like profound and known cases throughout law enforcement and investigations.
I just remember being mind blown that you told me that somebody had seen it was some stamp or something
Yeah,
on whatever the
they've been going after this dude for years, and then caught him based off of a little thing they found in a picture.
it was pretty wild.
Something that was overlooked hundreds of times,
Mhm.
hundreds of times, probably thousands of times. And then finally, someone was like, "Hey, hold on."
So
And it's not like the people that overlooked that were being lazy or not diligent about their job. It's just without going into we're not going to go into detail on what the case was about.
Mhm.
There's so much to look at
Right.
right, to try to decipher and
And then
mentally get through. And then, yeah. So it wasn't like they weren't doing their due diligence or like not working hard. It was an overwhelming case.
mhm.
So,
Yeah. I would imagine stuff like that if you ever are involved with like an apprehension like that, I would imagine it's probably like one of the most rewarding feelings. Or having a big come together moment to like make all the pieces fit and get your guy.
oh, dude,
Does that make sense?
oh, yeah, yeah. You're talking about like closing the case?
Yeah, and like
oh,
the
yeah.
aha moment of like, oh, this is how we can close the case based off of
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah. I can't talk about this case specifically either because it's still in federal. Like, this one went federal,
Oh,
which I'm actually really proud of this one. And at some point, we will be able to talk about it. I'll probably get pulled into court here in the next, I don't know how long, but I would say 6 months to a year, 2 years maybe. The feds kind of take a while, but like, the cool thing about federal stuff is um, they kind of have less boundaries than what we have when it comes to charging.
mm-hmm.
So, like, they can lay it on.
Right.
And they don't have to have, like, it's almost as like, oh, you thought about killing that person? We're going to charge you for murder.
But
Not
it's not
to that extent,
right.
but it's like, that's almost like how it is. Yeah.
Interesting.
Give me 1 second. We're going to pause. We're going to pause, but not stop recording for a brief sponsor break.
Okay. Today's sponsors are Ducks Unlimited. And
No, don't say that.
no,
We can't name anybody specific.
Okay.
However, have you heard of this Magic Mind stuff?
Hmm?
I'll show you some later. It's like since basically I've kind of quit drinking actual like energy drinks other than like this sparkling water with caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a neurotropic. So it's like it's got lion's mane, a bunch of other stuff in there to like keep you mentally focused, awake, alert, but not like jittery from energy drinks.
I want to rewind. Lion's mane.
The mushroom, not actual lion's mane.
Okay. To somebody like me who doesn't know that, they probably just had the same thought. Like they're shaving lions for this fucking guy's energy drink. What? Okay. But it's all like plants and like natural stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And what was that called again?
The mushroom or the drink?
The drink.
Magic Mind.
Magic Mind.
It's expensive, but it's been worth it.
Okay.
Um,
No caffeine jitters though, no crash, that kind of stuff.
I drank it this morning. Like 15 minutes later, dude. It might be a little bit of a placebo effect, but I've felt awake all day. I've felt on all day, and I like just started taking care of shit. It's pretty great.
Huh.
So
May have to check that out.
yeah, you can actually get on their website, and the cool thing, they'll actually like text you or email you. I did like the text. Like I think I was actually conversing with a real like rep from them, but they have like they say 3 days in a row is when you have it in your system, and like you really start noticing the effects.
Okay.
And they'll send you a 3-day pack for like $13-14 to try out. So
Okay.
maybe even less than that. Maybe it was like 10 something. But it kind of balances out like with how much money I was spending on energy drinks, like consistently, and like the damage I was doing to my heart and the rest of my body.
Right.
And
Liver,
obviously
kidneys,
my
whatever.
kidneys, because I guess that was one of the big reasons I got kidney stones a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Was all the creatinine. Did I not tell you that?
No.
Okay.
I'll bet that hurt.
Well, we're going to come back from the sponsor break right now, and we're going to get back into that conversation that we were having about the police stuff, and then we'll get into the kidney stone thing real fast.
So it was a case you couldn't mention hardly anything about because it's still ongoing with the feds.
Yeah. I had one of those aha moments where I was going through, putting all the pieces together, and then like, bingo, found my guy.
Nice.
Like this is, I would say, undoubtedly the one that, well, at least, yeah, like this is our suspect. This is our guy.
Okay.
And then he got handed off. That was at my old apartment. After I left there, I got handed off to one of my really good buddies. He worked it and ended up, he worked it with a different department's task force that's in the area that this guy was living at.
Okay.
And then they basically took it federal, and the feds got involved because they had gained a lot of intel that
Okay.
this guy was much bigger than what or I had anticipated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was dope.
That is
So I'm pretty excited.
that's got to feel pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it
But you
feels
said
awesome.
here within the next probably 6 months to a year, you got to go into court and like just
I
what
would think so. I don't
basically
know.
just like make a deposition if you have to. Like this is this is what I know. This is
Like this is my case. Like I started this.
okay.
So I am the like primary investigator or detective on this case, and then I got handed off, and then got big enough to where it was handed to the feds.
Okay.
So at some
Okay.
point, I will have to more than likely go in and testify to my findings, and like everything that
Huh.
yeah everything I did for the case.
Neat.
Super pumped.
That is cool, man.
I will say this: there. Okay, I can't say names. I think like there is a death involved in this investigation. I got to meet the parents of the deceased, um, interacted with them, cried with them like a handful of times, and I'm so excited, so excited to take a copy of that federal indictment to them. Like knock on the door. I haven't talked to them in a long time. I mean, it's probably close to a year now. Um, and say, hey, here hopefully is some justification
Right. Here's
or
some
some sort of um, uh,
like closure.
closure. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud to give this to you.
Yeah.
This dude's not going to be in prison for hopefully his whole life.
Yeah. So
We'll see.
that's gonna feel really good.
I think it will. Yeah, I think it will. Yeah, man, I really love my job, and it's a good time. It's a good time, and it's very fulfilling. And even the work, you know, a lot of people who are cops are like, oh man, gotta go back to patrol. This is a different style of patrol. Where I'm at now, it's a different style than I've ever experienced. It's the kind that I've always wanted, and I love it. And it there's other units at this department that I want to get on for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm having so much fun in patrol right now that it's like it's hard to imagine getting out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I love the pace and the danger behind it.
Sweet.
But yeah,
Hey, as
with
long
every
as you
good
love your job, you
yeah,
know.
with every good comes bad though, because you know there's a lot of negative in this job as well. So
Mm-hmm.
just gotta look past it. Like one, I mean, I was talking about this with Ash the other day. I mean, the job's changed me for sure.
Yeah.
You know, you just become calloused. You see the world that you see the world that you know
Not
the
everybody
everyday
else.
upstanding citizen doesn't see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
See,
we typically see people at the worst.
and what people being at their worst can leave behind too. You know, as far as
Oh yeah, I've seen some horrendous shit.
yeah,
I've seen some wild shit that you would only think you'd like see on movies.
yeah.
I saw a dude. I mean, I've seen people who have suicided themselves by train. So I just like laid down on the tracks, and I don't know if you've ever seen a body cut in half, but it's pretty wild. Stuff like that. We'll
Yeah.
leave it at that.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. The worst stuff, and obviously won't go into detail on this, the worst I've ever seen was like the little bit of time that I helped out the cybercrimes unit at my old department. That's stuff I think it's the most admirable work you could possibly do. The most fulfilling work you could do in a law enforcement setting, but couldn't. What they see and deal with on a daily basis, like I tip my hat to them for being able to like withstand that.
Right. Because I'm sure they're seeing like the absolute worst of people.
Imagine the worst. Imagine the worst thing you can think of, and then some. Yeah, it's terrible. So there's fucked up people out there.
I'm gonna remember these conversations when I want to bitch about what I do for work.
No, you can't because everybody's life's different. Everybody's
True.
walk of life is different. So your quarrels are going to be different than mine.
True.
So
But I'm still gonna think about it. Be like,
it could always be worse.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
yeah, that'll probably be the thought is, yeah, you know, we gotta wait a couple extra weeks for this dude's new set of limbs to come in, but at least I'm not dealing with stuff like our law enforcement guys do on a daily basis. So
You don't have to look at it like that.
no. I do though. Mad respect to you, dude.
I appreciate it, man.
Because
But now you know why I don't really talk about it, dude. Just
Right.
because I don't really care to have other people know what I do or what
Right.
is going on in my life.
Right.
So,
Well, cat's out the bag now.
cat's out the bag. As some of this stuff closes and whatnot, and I can talk about it, we'll share some cop stories.
Okay.
So,
Think I'll be all right with that.
yeah, I got some good ones. They're fun. Just you need to come do it right along. Is what you need to do.
I'm game.
Yeah, come do it right along
Kind of see
Friday or Saturday night.
and just kind of see like what it's like to be on patrol with you guys.
Yeah, you'll sit in the back seat, and I mean, you'll be as hands on as you want to be. I mean, you can't bring a gun or nothing, but I'll tell you right now, if I think this goes for everybody I work with, if like shit hits a fan, like I'll show you where the button is for the shotgun.
Okay. Do I get to request like specifically to ride along with you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if
absolutely.
it would, like I would just be put in with like one of your colleagues.
No, you can
Okay.
request specifically for me.
Cool.
Yep.
Oh man.
The coolest ride along I ever had was um losing a train of thought. We had an officer. We had a fallen officer. I'm not gonna say his name. It's fairly recent. It's super unfortunate. It was really shitty, and um, you know, that stuff can cripple you sometimes. Like being involved in that. And I have some close buddies that I work with that were the ones that like found him
Oh man.
first, second, third on scene. I was when I showed up, they were like just had started carting him off in the ambulance.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm gonna tear up thinking about it. But I got his stepdaughter. I think it was she was a stepdaughter. She came and did a ride along with me and my partner, and it was cool. I think she finally got to see like, or I think she had done some before, and she may be an intern, but she's interested in being a cop, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
Like especially after knowing what happened to her stepdad. Anyways, dope. That's heavy stuff.
Yeah. Want to talk about something lighter?
Sure, we can.
All right.
What time is it?
It is 7:42. You got to work tonight?
Yep.
All right.
But luckily, I don't have to I'm not gonna go to the gym or anything, and I don't really have to be there. Fashionable time, I guess.
All right.
Is that your watch dinging?
Yeah.
Nice.
I need to stop that. That's probably really annoying in people's earphones.
No, this is the first time I noticed it.
This is the first time I've not had it turned off.
No.
Well, shoulder injury aside, prior to that happening, man, look at you go drinking off
Trying to be
mic like a
mindful of
pro.
it now because you got me all stressed
Look at
out.
a guy. Look at you go. You're learning.
I saw. Of course, my downtime is filled with like watching card pack opening videos now. But there's this one guy who it's ASMR, and he puts like
Oh no.
it puts water in these cool looking jugs, and he gets the mic really close to his mouth, and he uncorks the jug, and then he puts it in his mouth, and it's just him, just like
Oh god, I want to punch that guy. No, absolutely not. I can't do ASMR.
it's so weird. Oh, dude,
Like it's
like
not
mukbang or any of that stuff. I cannot do.
like where they get just
yeah, or like people eating a bunch of shit, and then you can hear him like
right.
swallowing and chewing. Get away.
So now you know.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at you again, away from the mic. It's 2 in a row. I'm proud of you.
Oh,
So I mean, prior to your shoulder injury, did you have any set goals for this hunting season?
that's a really good question. Obviously, either surpass what I shot last year or one equal to.
Okay.
I think my deer last year was an interesting spot. I definitely think he was on the downhill. He was an old guy, very old guy.
Old dude.
So once I felt that like adrenaline, I was hooked. Like okay,
Right.
because we talked about this in one of the other episodes, but like I'm not. For a while, I wasn't like a huge trophy hunter, but now knowing like I am gonna eat the meat, like hunting for the trophy is cool,
Right.
right? Like I'll admit it. It is what it is. Like there is it's a rush shooting a deer. There's a bigger rush shooting a deer that like you maybe got on camera or that you're like, oh, that's a big old deer,
Right.
right? So I'd say that'd be one goal. A bow hunting specific goal is just to get better. Like I obviously now I haven't shot that bow, but I had
Right.
picked it up, and only time I'd shot it was at the shop when I was picking it up from you, and I haven't shot it since. So I was already kind of let myself down on that one.
No, I mean,
But oh, I don't know. This year's felt different. Like last year's, it felt like such a build up. Like we are getting so many big deer on camera and like getting so hyped up about it, and like everybody's lives are kind of like going their own way, you know.
right.
And so this year has kind of felt a little lackluster almost. But yeah, I don't know. Now with the shoulder injury, I guess I've never taken a deer with a crossbow, so I don't think I have.
Hey,
I
that
think I've
could,
tried, but I missed.
hey, that could be a
So
new goal.
I guess
Temporary goal if, your recovery is going to take a while.
overall goal, like over the next couple of years, I really want to get this new food plot like squared away.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely a big goal that I have.
I remember you asking me what we had for seed. What did you guys end up going with?
So so we all use a different mix. I use Domain, which I'm a big fan of. They sell it at. I bought it online. It's found on Amazon. Had really high ratings, and then they sell it at Orchlands, I think. But I don't know. It's just a food plot mix.
Okay.
It grew really well. I mean, from what it's looked like so far, but I know a lot of guys, like Whitetail Institute and
Right.
whatnot.
That's the big one.
Kind of the staple, I guess.
Especially their clover. But man, have you ever looked into like the seed mixture ratios on Whitetail Institute?
Uh.
Just about every food plot mix that they sell has their clover in it.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Well, clover is, from my understanding, such an invasive plant as it is.
I mean, it
Like
will.
it'll keep regrowing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if still have it on my order history.
But yeah, clover definitely. Well, I mean, it does regrow because that's still about 80% of my backyard is clover still.
Yeah.
I just don't have the deer coming through mowing it down anymore because we put up that fence.
See, okay, I have this waiting, and I was thinking about putting it out and like doing a second seeding.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but it's their version of basically like a no-till
Okay.
food plot. It's called No BS. It's got
No bothering the soil is
Yeah.
what BS stands for.
that's right.
Couldn't stand for anything else.
Come on, show me what you have in it. I want to know what you got in it.
I feel like it's probably a lot of like,
Choking hazard. What?
well, of course it's a choking hazard. It's little bitty seeds.
Don't eat that.
What if don't tell me what to do, Uncle Sam? You're not my mom, Uncle Sam.
Forage oats, clover, forage rape, chicory, and radish is what's in this one.
Okay. Speaking of chicory, I haven't ever I don't hear that word brought up in conversation very often. Did you know chicory was used as a coffee substitute?
Really?
Yep. So Howard, the shop manager up there at Rogers, he's
Yeah.
a Civil War reenactor.
Yeah.
And back in the day when they couldn't get coffee, during the Civil War, like the supply trains were running short on coffee, whatever.
Yeah.
Chicory.
Really?
Uh-huh. And I think it goes even like way further back than that, but yeah.
That is wild. I did not know that.
See, do you remember the Grinds coffee pouches?
Oh yeah.
I think it was last year or maybe the year before. For like whatever big anniversary they had, like 10 years or something. They did a Louisiana style or a New Orleans style, and it was chicory flavored. So like I think it was like mostly coffee grounds and like maybe 10-15% chicory.
Huh.
It was actually pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah.
What did it taste like?
I couldn't even tell you. It was.
Was it sweet? I hear chicory and I think of like peppery for some reason.
It wouldn't even. It didn't really even taste that far off from coffee.
Huh.
But there was just some weird little like flavor note that was different. But yeah,
Interesting.
when people talk about chicory, that's the first thing that comes to my mind is, oh hey, that used to be a coffee substitute.
Huh.
And I think still is in a lot of the southern states. I think you can still go to a coffee shop and get a chicory coffee.
The things you learn.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. So
I'm very curious to try chicory coffee now.
well, when your food plot comes in,
Go pick some and
yeah,
make it.
just go pick some. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it looks like.
So
as a
I'm going to
plant.
reverse the table on you and ask you the same questions. Did you have any big goals?
Man, my big goal for this year is I just want to spend more time outdoors.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm in a tree stand. I don't care if I'm walking the fields in Kansas. I don't care if I'm in the marsh.
Respect.
I don't care where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I'm chasing. I just want to spend more time out there than I did last year.
Yeah.
I've got actually got one of these strap vests, the Upland strap vests from
Nice.
Rogers last year for Christmas. Again from Howard because he did a Secret Santa and he went over the limit. That asshole.
There's always that person.
That fucking guy. No, he's a great dude though. But he got me one of those strap vests, so like I'd like to make it to Kansas this year if we can,
Yeah.
and get to put it to use, like really put some
Oh, yeah.
miles on it.
Oh, yeah. Break it in.
Yeah, right. Make a couple trips out there, hopefully, see how it holds up. I want to put another deer down. I don't care if it's with my bow or with my rifle. I'd like for it to be with my bow, and a lot of people might be surprised to hear this, as passionate as I am about archery and bow hunting. I haven't killed a deer with my bow yet. So that's one of my goals is put a deer down with my bow.
That's a really good goal.
Buck, doe, spike, slickhead, don't care.
So when I first started hunting, my older brother is a huge bow hunter, and he said like when I first started bow hunting, what?
You have an older brother?
Yeah, you know this.
No, I don't.
Don't even play dumb right now.
No, I really don't.
Shane. He's like my stepbrother technically, but yeah, he's my older brother. Lives in Iowa.
I didn't know that. I knew your younger brothers.
Yeah.
I knew John.
There's Shane. He lives up in Norwalk, Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right,
huge bow hunter.
We'll circle back to that. Okay.
Oh.
After this bombshell's been dropped on me. Anyways, continue. You were talking to Shane when you first got started bow hunting, right?
Yeah, and he told me, he's like, hey, man, first thing you gotta do is just get your first kill.
Get it out of the way.
Just get used to it.
Yeah.
Just get used to taking a life. Which a lot of people don't think about that. And for some people, it might not be a thing. Like, they might just have zero thought behind it, And I guess, like, my first bow kill, yeah, I would say that, man, I'm going to have some more caffeine or something. Yeah, I probably had a little bit of remorse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that was the first piece of advice. So, like, don't try to get out there and, like, start shooting huge deer right off the bat. If that's how it happens, that's how it happens. Like,
right.
Good for you, but just first thing that's legal, take it. Get used to it. Get used to everything about it. Shooting from a tree stand, watching the arrow, watching the deer, your movement in the tree stand when you see the deer.
Right. Your bow placement if you're in a ladder stand too.
Everything.
Make sure your limbs don't flex and hit the rail. That's one I hear from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Make sure your bow is well over the side of the deal. So
yeah,
it's been a goal that's been on my list, and I've had some close encounters. Talking about public land. I was at Smithville. You remember? Oh man, you remember that big group of us went teal hunting over off of Sea Highway? We could see the bridge.
Yes.
Okay. There's a public access spot right around the corner from there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was in there, and I remember it was like late October, and I was getting snowed on. So I remember it was cold as fuck. That was before my awesome husband bought me a heated jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm super stoked about it.
Heated jacket.
Heated jacket, dude.
Nice.
But anyhow, so it was cold. I was tired. It was an afternoon sit. And this 6-pointer walked right in front of me. And I'm sitting on the ground because I don't trust climber tree stands. And
Absolutely not.
I haven't, not that they don't work, but whatever. I haven't invested in like a saddle or any of, portable hang-on stand setups.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting on the ground next to this tree, and see this little 60 come walking up in front of me, and I know I've got 20 to 35 yards of big open in front of me. So, like, my furthest shot that I was going to have to take was 35 yards.
Mm-hmm.
This deer had no idea I was there. He came up across a little creek, the creek that feeds into underneath the bridge there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Came across this little creek, and he stood in front of me for 45 minutes, giving me the best quartering away and broadside shots that I could have ever wanted to take.
You didn't take it.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
I didn't think he was legal.
Oh, was he?
In that part of Clay County, yeah, he was legal.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Well,
I was pissed. I went home because I got to thinking, like, as I'm walking out, like, why didn't I shoot that deer? I'm pretty sure that there's no 4-point restriction. I think it's a,
better be safe than sorry.
Yep. But I got home and, like, I got on MDC's website and, like, zoomed as far as I could into the map showing that where it was legal.
Yeah. You were there?
Oh, I was where he was a legal deer.
Well, now you know.
I think I even did draw back on him at one point.
And you're like, do I? Do I not? What do I do here?
But I took the safe rather than sorry, and it's probably a good thing I did.
Yeah, because our luck, like, you didn't shoot it, so you didn't see conservation. If you would have shot it, you would have walked out and conservation would have been there.
Right, and they would have been like, hey, this cut actually just after we printed the books this year, yeah, this is now the 4-point restricted zone.
Yeah.
And that's not a legal deer. Hand over your gun, your truck, or your rifle, your truck, like everything.
I would fight that one.
No.
Yeah.
There's places in Colorado where if they catch you doing something illegal, they can take all your stuff.
I think that's almost everywhere.
They can take like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I said
They also have a lot of conservation agents have a lot more jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're
like I did not know this. They can literally go in your house. From what I've been told, can go in your house to check your freezers without a warrant.
Yeah, they're closer to a state trooper.
Yeah.
As far as like how much authority and jurisdictional power they have.
Yeah. Oh man,
they don't need a warrant to come onto private property and check you for tags. Which I don't even know. You're probably the right person to ask for this. Could you, as a non-conservation officer, law enforcement officer, could you check me for if I had my tags with me? Like on a hunting interaction?
I don't know.
There you go. Now you got some homework.
Well, I think I could, and if I wanted to, I could take it as far as getting a conservation agent involved.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't really know if I could detain you. Like, I'd have to probably be on duty.
Right.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, on
so
duty.
I had that experience at my old place of work. On a piece of conservation land. We got a call because they couldn't get a hold of the agent. And, like, these individuals that thought they could drive their car, they drove it deep into the conservation area.
Is it
got it sank basically in the mud.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so.
Is it the place I'm thinking of? We've been fishing there once.
I don't know.
On the river?
It was Platte Falls.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was a different section of it. Like a northern part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, they like drove through the gate to like the conservation takes. Is that my dog heavy breathing I'm hearing in the mic? I think so. I don't know. Anyways.
He's just laying over there.
Weirdo. But yeah, they had basically driven deep into the property. Like they had gone through the conservation's driveway gate.
And don't they usually have those chained?
But it was open. It was open in their defense, but they drove it through the parking lot, onto the gravel, onto the dirt 2-track, and then just kept following it.
Oh no.
And then to a point where they just like sank.
Oh shit.
So I think they got some pretty hefty fines or charges.
Well, yeah, because conservation, they take that stuff seriously.
Oh yeah, I mean they had damaged the property pretty well too.
He sneezed.
Yeah. So
but yeah, like no motorized vehicles on conservation land. Like even I don't think you can even ride e-bikes.
I don't know.
Like any of the Rambo bikes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
But yeah, ask
I know you can take a bike. You can ride a bicycle.
No, I know that. I'm saying like the
I don't
motorized
know about the e-bikes.
like electric ones. I don't think so.
It's electric.
Boogie, boogie, boogie. But no,
Yeah, I don't
ask around. I'm kind of curious about that now. If you guys could,
I'm curious too.
like, if you guys had to, in a situation, like, cite me for something related to, like, conservational offense, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll definitely look into it.
And now you got homework. You're welcome.
Now I got homework. I did go on a call when I first got to this new department. I'm in the inner city.
Mm-hmm.
Someone called it in as a German Shepherd hanging from a tree, and I was like, "What?" And they called back because when you get a call, like you get the initial information, and then sometimes you hear like they'll call your call sign or your radio number, like copy further information or copy an update.
Right.
So on the way there, we got that. Okay. I can't remember what number, 324, copy an update or whatever. The calling party is saying that it looks like it's skinned.
Oh no.
It was a deer. It was a deer. He had went and shot a deer and hung it up in the city,
tree.
and we were all standing there. We're like,
no.
is there a code against it? Like, is there a violation here? Like, he's just got a skinned deer hanging in the middle of this like city block. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't think that that's.
which there wasn't. It just looked bad.
Yeah,
right?
like you
So
know.
it was on his property. It was on a tree that was on his property.
So I mean, nothing you guys can really do.
No, and nothing that I would really do other than maybe ask him to take it down because it was
Right, or like move it to the tree in the backyard. Or
if somebody called and was like, "Hey, there's a deer hanging in the tree,"
would you be like, no?
I'd just be like, hey, "There's nothing I can do." But since it came in as like, "Hey," like the calling party thought it was a dog, like it was a German Shepherd. I was like, ugh. Obviously the neighbors are concerned and like seeing some stuff, but it was a nice little buck. He had the head sitting in a old tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so interesting stuff.
That's nuts. Have you had to do any deer dispatching calls, like
Oh yeah.
car on deer collision?
Oh yeah. I had a
Oh, quick follow up.
hold on. They just got the guy that we've been hunting.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome. High five to that.
Okay.
But yes. So when I was at the the county, get those all the time. Actually, I had a good one. This is like my favorite one.
Okay.
So right there on, I'll probably have to tell the story then. Probably have to hop off here.
Okay.
Because I'll have to be heading to work.
Okay.
271 or whatever. Right there, like the Tracy exit.
Oh yeah. I-29.
I-29 to Tracy. There's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
new gas station and Dunkin' Donuts, right? So
Wait, there's a Dunkin' there now?
yeah.
Badass.
So
Anyways.
it's technically like the north end of Platte City. So like you're taking it going towards Platte City. There was the barn where we kept all of our cars at and whatnot.
Right.
A like paint van had hit a deer, needed to be dispatched. So two other people working blocked oncoming traffic, going both ways, and like the deputy that got dispatched out there was like, I can't do it. I can't kill a deer. I was like, okay, I'll go do it. So they blocked traffic, and there's this lady that went around the
The blockade.
deputy's car going east. And so, like, just blatant disregard. Like, don't give a fuck. And so, this was probably a little out there for me to do. But, like, as she passed, like, as she was approaching me, I drew my gun out. And there's a ton of people around. I drew my gun out and just stared at her. And then we locked eyes, and her eyes, like, got big. And then as she started passing me, I went, and
Oh my god.
like, no look, John Wick the deer right in the head. Like,
Oh,
the
geez.
best way to kill it for people listening.
Right, 100%. I'm just
It's already suffering, so you got to end it, put it out of its misery.
that visual of just being eyes locked with this lady and just
Yeah, dude, just straight. She's coming at me. We lock eyes. I'm already irritated. Like the deputy that shut down the road's like yelling at her, like, "What are you doing?" What?
right.
And then so I'm like, unholster, point at the deer. She's like looking at me, and then like as she's like, I mean, we're 3 feet from each other. I just, and she freaked out, clutched the steering wheel, kind of like shook the car a little bit, like almost went off the road. And then like the deputy that's blocking the other lane of traffic was a hothead, and she like started screaming at the lady and whatnot. It was It was funny. That was probably my proudest like deer dispatch moment. Dude, where I worked there were giants.
Oh, I'm sure.
I've seen some giants.
Dude,
And when I worked dog watch, I gotta be honest with you,
dog watch.
overnight.
Okay.
A little bit of like an unethical bone. I mean, I had a 223 sitting right next to me with a can on it. So it would have sounded like a little 22. Right? Just whatever. Like,
Stop it.
right now,
Stop it.
get in the back of the car.
We don't condone any of these actions.
No, we don't, but we think about it sometimes.
Oh, we do.
So
We all think about it.
yeah.
But you got to hop off here?
If we could. I do, man. I do
Okay.
gotta hop off here. This has been a really good episode.
It has.
This has been dope.
We covered a lot of good shit.
Yeah, we did.
I feel like
I enjoyed
we
it.
might have got heavy in the middle there, but we brought it back, and I think people are gonna like hearing us mix it up. Not just hearing us talk about ourselves or our stories, but like stuff we actually like just think about on a day-to-day basis,
Yeah.
and getting to hear more about you too.
Yeah.
Because 3 episodes in, people finally get to learn a little bit something about you.
A little bit at a time. So
That's right. We got to keep them hooked. Got to
We
keep
do.
them interested.
well, buddy, we'll keep them rolling. So
All right.
I will we'll talk later. Peace out.
Adios.